San Diego, it's time to fire it up. From the beaches to the ballparks, from the Gaslamp to North County, no one knows America's finest city like he does.
You can't just punt on a Manny Machado prime year.
He's a fourth-generation San Diegan, born and raised in the heart of this community. Passionate, opinionated, and always bringing you the real talk on your teams, your city, and everything in between.
Braden totally knows his stuff. He's ready for the next step. That guy is good.
Live and local, it's the Braden Surprenant Show.
But I think Braden's one of the up-and-coming young stars in the media game in San Diego.
Now, here's your host, Braden Surprenant.
What's up, San Diego? A happy Thursday to everybody out there in America's finest city. I'm Braden Surprenant. This is the Braden Surprenant Show, live and local each and every day from 10 to 2 on San Diego's number one sports station, 97.3 The Fan. We got a lot to talk about on today's show. We will be joined by Eddie Brown in the 1 o'clock hour. We will have Skyler coming in to make picks with us in a 1 o'clock hour. Clint Allard of UCSD men's basketball, the head coach, new head coach at UCSD, was a great player for the Tritons back in the day. He'll join us at 12:35 to kind of give us our final preview of the college basketball season, which will tip off on Tuesday. We'll talk about this managerial search for the Padres. I mean, they're getting down to the nitty-gritty now. We got the finalists. It's Ruben Niebla, it's Albert Pujols, it's Nick Hundley, and maybe one more candidate. I thought maybe they'd make the decision today, and maybe they will later today. I doubt they do it tomorrow, but in the report from Kevin Acee yesterday, it sounded like they were going to do it at the end of the week. And, by the way, we got information about how long the interview went with Albert Pujols. 9.5 hours. What are they possibly talking about for 9.5 hours?
Adam, I love this job. I really do. If this interview took 9.5 hours, I wouldn't be here.
At what point are you pulling a girl on a date that wants to get out of a date using her get out of jail free card? Hey, I got something to do in 2 hours. I got something to do right after.
Look,
how many hours are you into that where you're like, you know what? It's probably not going to work. Or you're just super into the job.
I forgot. My fish has a dentist appointment like now. So I got to go to that. I got to be there for emotional support.
It's 10:30 at night. What fish dentist is open this late?
It's a
piranha.
Yeah, it's. I got to go somewhere.
I have to go like kind of black market.
Yeah. Well, no, we can't say that because then I look shady.
Well, anyway, 9.5 hour interview. To me, at that point in time, 9.5 hours. I mean, take that for what it's worth. Okay, you can say that it was 9.5 hours of great baseball talk. You could say it was a vetting process. You could say whatever it is. 9.5 hours. That's what it's being reported.
At what point does it stop being an interview and more just hanging around with your buddies?
Or I get to hang out with Albert Pujols?
Exactly. What happened? At what point do we go from that to the other thing?
Jacob in the chat brings up a good point. What time did they start and stop the interview? It's a great question because we know like AJ probably doesn't get any sleep. Like, was this overnight?
Brother put in a work day for an interview.
He gets overtime for that work day in the state of California. A little overtime day, 9.5 hours. You know what? Maybe they give an hour and a half lunch. Maybe they had an hour and a half lunch. 9.5 hour interview. That couldn't possibly be in a straight setting, right?
No, it can't.
That had to be like mixed up between a couple of times. I mean, what would you do? Start the interview at like 8 a.m?
That wouldn't go good for me. I'd be like, listen, you're not going to get me at my best for the first couple hours. I'm just saying.
Right.
Unless you want to push this back a little bit. Want to get breakfast. There's a good Denny's around. I know that.
IHOP, they had that $6 deal, remember?
Exactly,
yeah,
yes. Well, 7 in San Diego, apparently.
Yeah, I did have some people complain about that read. Yeah, AJ wanted to watch the World Series game with Albert to have on hand commentary. You know what? I couldn't put it past them. I think that'd be great knowledge. But like
that's called live video breakdown, is what that is.
How long did those interviews last with the other gentleman? Like, did Nick Hundley have a 9.5 hour interview? I can't imagine Ruben being able to have a 9.5-hour interview. I mean, they know about Ruben, right? I mean, they can't possibly have that long of an interview. Some of those, like, I've interviewed for jobs before, for jobs that, places already worked. Those go a little bit faster than places you don't know. I'll tell you that. It's 21-hour interview. I mean, it just shows that AJ Preller didn't sleep. But when looking at this, and we're going to talk more about it in a second, about the managerial search, it comes down to three candidates at this point in time. There might be a fourth out there. And I think at this point, with everybody else picking their managers, it's time to make a decision. Did you see who the Nationals hired today?
Yes, I did see that.
They hired a 33-year-old.
And what am I doing at 33?
I'm 30, so in 3 years, I guess I could be a manager for an MLB team. I got some time, Frank. You got 1 year left, and then all of a sudden you better get
I don't
into
have
gear.
a year left.
You have less than a year left.
I have 2 months.
Oh, no.
2 months to the day.
You better start putting in your resume for managerial hirings.
AJ, how's it going?
33 years old. Do the Nationals have any players that are older than that right now? I mean, how do you think the Padres would do with a 33-year-old manager who's never done it before?
Welcome to the real little big league.
I mean, seriously, the guy looks so young. Yeah, he's Trevor Williams' age. Trevor Williams is 33 and a half. Josh Bell is 33. Paul DeYoung's 32. I mean, it's going to be all his boys. Derek Law, he's a free agent. Don't have to worry about him. He was 35. I mean, come on. You look at the payroll for the Nationals for 2026. Shows everybody's age. Some of these guys are off the books now, so you don't have to worry about it. So the only guy is Trevor Williams. He's 33 and a half. That's it. Everybody else is under the age of 30 on that team. Maybe that's why you could do it. You just have to pay Steven Strasburg $35 million next year. He's the only other player on that roster that's old. Justin Hughes. I was trying to manage my son's T-ball team at 33. You know what? I bet you the egos of that T-ball team are a little bit different than the major leagues, though. Hey, you know what? It might even be worse. What's harder to do for a 33-year-old? Manage a T-ball team or manage a Major League Baseball team? It might be the T-ball.
Yeah, managing the parents of said T-ball team.
No, Johnny, you're running the wrong way. At least you don't have to do that at the major leagues.
I mean, at least that's funny.
Right. When you do that in the pros, you get fired.
Exactly.
You do it in T-ball, it's cute.
Can't do the whole just kidding bit.
Plus, all those kids, they get paid in snow cones and stuff. It's a lot easier. Snow cones, snacks, gushers. What else they got? I'm trying to think of like my T-ball snacks I used to get.
Listen, if
orange slices, get him going a little bit in the third inning. We need a little pickup here, boys. Come on now.
I'm just saying, if I'm Manny Machado and if I hit a grand slam in the 6th inning, I would be okay if somebody brought me a little package of gushers. I'm just saying. I'm cool with that.
I'm trying to think of like the snacks I would have as like when I was in T-ball. Back when I played T-ball in Scripps Ranch Little League, they used to play at Miramar Ranch middle or elementary school, which they don't even play Little League games there anymore. But the field was all grass. And I remember like they used to, that was before, like I love what the Padres do with the jerseys.
Yes.
Right? They donate all the Padres jerseys because they were tired of having Little League Day and everybody's wearing all these random teams. So they donated all these Padres jerseys and all the different like eras of Padres baseball to all the local Little Leagues. I think it's great. The downside of that, though, is you're on the Padres every single year. Like there's no mix-up. But I remember my first ever T-ball team was the Yankees. That was before they used like actual logos. So, like my hat had like an SR on it. And then it was like just a random script Yankees across the jersey. And that was when they had, I was just talking about this with a friend the other day. They used to have those like big felt banners, team banners they used to do. That was the coolest things as a kid for T-ball and like Little League and soccer. Soccer was funnier because like for the Little League teams, they were all MLB team names. So you always use like the MLB logos on these like felt banners that they would make. But for soccer, you would like see the creativity of all the kids and the team names they would come up with. Hilarious. I remember one year when I did like, it was actually North County Soccer Park's like camp they did one summer. They used to do like the camp for like, remember you do like the camps in the summertime?
Yeah.
I'd always do sports camps. One of them that I did, I think I was like in 4th or 5th grade. North County Soccer Park did one. And like we were with the 4th and 5th graders, or like the older group of that particular camp. And you got assigned a different T-shirt, North County Soccer Park on it.
Mhm.
And we had white T-shirts. We had like the lamest color. It was like no color. And so we were the Killer Marshmallows was the team name. It was the funniest name ever. And our coach was like, "There goes my marshmallows. Let's go."
There it is.
It was awesome. It was fun. It was fun times. I'm trying to remember the little league snacks we used to get. I mean, Gushers and Fruit by the Foot were always like a popular item.
Those are the staples.
Popular item. At North County Soccer Park, they had slush puppies. I mean, that was a must-have.
Yeah, but if I'm
Airheads,
yes,
big Airheads kid.
If
Loved
I'm-
Airheads.
Jolly Ranchers, the little ones. Those were always
The hard
good.
candy?
Yes, because those lasted. Those will get you through a couple.
You were
innings.
a sucker, weren't you? You like the sucker candy?
Shut up! Don't.
Okay.
Um,
Kudos bars. I remember those too. Gonzo with the kudos bars. Those were good. I'm trying to think of other things that we used to get for snacks. The Gushers and the Fruit by the Foot were always a big hit. They would never do the candy. Parents were like, "No, we're not going candy here."
the fruit roll-ups with the press-on tongue tattoos. Those are good.
What would you get at the snack bar? Did you have a snack bar in your local Little League?
Yeah,
Like, because then you would go. Your parents would have to be the snack person for like the whole season
right, but it would
until
be
you got to a certain level, and then it was like snack bar tickets, and then you got to get like a couple things at the snack bar.
we weren't. Oh, we didn't have the ticket bit.
We had the ticket bit at Scripps Ranch Little League. They had a ticket, and it was like I forgot. I think it got you like $1. It's like $1.50 or $2 or something like that. And I remember back then you get a lot of stuff for like $1.50 and $2.
Yeah, no kidding.
When I was in like 6th grade at the deal, I remember you would get like a hot dog and a soda or something like that, or maybe a nachos or like
it
a
was
candy.
Yeah, it was nachos, hot dogs, and probably like a water or a Gatorade. That was like the go-to. You were the man if you got nachos.
Nachos are great. Yeah, now you're just Mike Crum. The best part about the Little League thing was like we'd play like when you got to AAA and majors, at least in Scripps Ranch Little League, it was played at Jerebeck.
Mhm.
And like the majors uniforms were the coolest at Scripps Ranch Little League when I was a kid because they were vests. So like, and majors had majors was the only level that had the actual MLB logos when I went through Little League.
Mhm.
So by the time you got to the majors, which is the 12U
Yeah,
age, right? They had the fence, they had their scoreboard before, right? They flipped it right before I got there. They used to have a old school put numbers up on the board.
nice.
And so like kids
Love
would hang out
it.
after their game and run the scoreboard, and they'd put the numbers up on the board.
That's cool.
It was the coolest thing. And there was a little patio, like kind of like walkway up there, and you go up there and do the scoreboard. And they got rid of that for a digital one when I got to majors. And I thought that was so lame.
Boo.
It was so lame. It was probably way more cost effective and everything like that. But you see, you have to repair the wood that sits out there all the time. But kids would be able to do that. And then like they would always play, regardless of the games, it would always turn into a giant pickle game in the outfield after.
Oh,
you get
100%.
you get psyched up on candy, hot dogs, slush puppies, soda, and then every kid would like flip their hat backwards. The vest would get untucked and undone. They'd look like a kid from the Sandlot, and you'd play this massive game of pickle
We would always
with
play
a tennis ball with pegs.
We would always play wall ball.
Oh,
That
really?
was our thing.
Very New York of you.
It was. I mean, it's basically a throw a ball against the wall, and if you don't pick it clean, you have to run to the wall. And if you didn't beat the ball to the wall, you got pegged. Somebody would always have a tennis ball. And if we didn't have a tennis ball, it was a community center. So like there was football there, basketball there. And on the East Coast, lacrosse is big, especially up in New York. Boy, if we found a lacrosse ball,
Oh God.
we were done.
Oh God.
Baseball was over. If we found a lacrosse ball, we were playing wall ball with lacrosse ball. I actually
Go Aztecs. Not for sure Frank was gonna say stick ball.
no.
Come on,
Yeah.
man.
No,
It's a foul for the stereotype.
that's more
Oh, we should make the team next year. I just thought about that. Squirrel. Little Italy does a stickball
Squirrel.
tournament every year.
Oh,
They got legit players in those things, though. I let me tell you, I know some like softball dudes that play in that thing. That'd be fun. Braden Surprenant show
Yes.
team, stickball team down in Little Italy.
that would be fantastic.
That'd be great.
But I don't think I need to tell you, if you've ever held a lacrosse ball,
That thing's a rock, dude.
Those things
that thing
hurt.
That thing hurts.
Especially when you miss
Oh yeah.
and it goes and hits your lip, and you just so happen to have a tooth that sticks out a little bit further than all the other ones on the bottom. Yeah, that hurts a lot.
It hurts the natural casings.
Yeah, it's
Cody in the chat, our little league, which is Pony. If kids take a foul ball to the snack bar and return it, they get a ticket for a fountain drink. That's awesome. That's a mad
nice.
dash for you know what? Instead of saying somebody on it, everybody's on it, including the kids that are playing the game.
better than what we had at San Ysidro High, I'll tell you that. San Ysidro High had snake patrol.
Oh, that's fun.
Because their field is backed up against a field of high brush where rattlesnakes like to hang out. And we know that because there was one in our dugout one day before practice. So, yeah, nobody wanted to be on snake patrol. That's why I was happy holding the scorebook for my freshman year. I didn't have to be on snake patrol.
Cathedral's field is backed up into the canyon and like foul balls just are. When I was there, the brush wasn't as thick as it is now. Now it's like it's a waste. The ball is gone forever. If you want to find baseballs, though, and if you're getting that canyon right there behind those houses, you're going to find thousands of baseballs. I guarantee it. Almost as much as the abyss over by USD at Fowler Park. They have all this shrubbery over there that's got. I'm telling you, if you take your kid to a USD game, tell him to go up in the shrubs. He or she will find probably thousands of baseballs. There's about 1,500 of them on the roof over the batting cage. But anyway, the Little League thing, the pickleball stuff was fun. Pickle was fun. You would have two kids playing, and there'd be 1,000 kids in the middle.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And as soon as you would peg some kid, he was out, and they would go down to like the final two kids, whatever. It was like an elimination game. That stuff was fun. That got on the tangent of what's harder to do at age 33 for Justin. Manage a major league team like the new Nationals manager or managing a Little League team.
Yeah, that was fun, unlike the news that broke this morning.
About Little League and the Players Association. Yeah, we're going to talk about that later on.
More adults ruining youth sports.
Yeah, or just making money off of it. And then the youth sports not getting anything. We're going to talk about that monstrosity later on in the show. We do want to talk about these candidates for the San Diego Padres. We'll keep you updated if we get any news on if they hire a manager or not. And talk a little Aztec basketball last night. Aztecs and Toreros battled it out. I was right there. Front row seat with USDToreros.com. I'll let you know what I saw from yesterday's game when we come back. Aztecs looked pretty good. USD has got some things to work on, but a couple of bright spots we'll discuss when we come back on the Braden Surprenant Show, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97 through the Fan. All guests on 97 to the Fan. Join us on the David P. Shapiro Fan Hotline. David P. Shapiro, criminal defense attorneys helping good people regain control of their future when charged with a crime since 2010. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com. He's Frank Marchese. I'm Braden Surprenant. This is the Braden Surprenant Show, live and local each and every day from 10 to 2 on San Diego's number one sports station, 97.3 The Fan. You can follow us on social media at B_SURP. You can also follow us at the Braden Surprenant Show at B_SURP show. You can also follow Frank Marchese, FMarks324. That's where you can find us. If you're watching on YouTube, do us a huge favor and give us a like on the YouTube page. We really appreciate it on this particular video. If you need to follow us, if you haven't done so already, subscribe to our YouTube page at B_SURP. Link is below. Let's talk about the Aztec game last night. The Aztec USD game last night. I got to be there. Obviously, got to call the game for the University of San Diego with Jack Cronin. And it looked really good if you're San Diego State. Aztecs were able to make it through yesterday's game unscathed. It was great to see them play at a high level. I thought you got to see Dixon Waters play at a high level. He looked like Allen Iverson last night with his gear, by the way. He was swimming in it. Old 90s look. Early 2000s. Viejas Arena was legit. It was fun last night. And here's the thing for USD. We talked about this. I talked about this with Steve Lavin for the game yesterday. It was a great opportunity for USD to go out there and get a exhibition game where they get to play on the road, play in front of a hostile crowd. It was a good crowd last night for an exhibition game. And they got to go against an elite team in San Diego State. So for USD, they got to do a lot of good things. They got a lot to work on, the Toreros do. Steve Lavin before the game talked about the physicality of San Diego State that they were trying to match, how his 14 newcomers were going to play together. And he also talked about the experience that was going to be how are we going to react to playing at Viejas Arena when we have games against San Jose State on the road, games against Washington on the road, games against UCSD on the road. I mean, a bunch of different places that, will have a good environment, but not necessarily the environment that Viejas Arena has. And they don't have to go to Gonzaga this year. USD doesn't. And they don't have to play in tough environments, really, in the West Coast Conference. They have to go to St. Mary's, but that's still nothing compared to what it's like at San Diego State. As laid out by Mark Ziegler in his article, Viejas Arena, his first line in his recap was hilarious. Looking at the recap from last night's game. Halftime was more of a thriller than the game. And the pun was intended. The halftime entertainment was a Halloween-themed dance to Michael Jackson's Thriller, which merely made Viejas Arena more of a house of horrors for the University of San Diego. San Diego State led the Toreros by 24 at the break and yawned its way to an 87-54 win in the final preseason basketball exhibition for both schools. The Aztecs jumped out to a 19-4 lead. USD scored first. By the way, neither team scored for 3 minutes to get the game started. Crazy. You look at, how San Diego State, who's been to a San Diego State basketball game? You understand the tradition they do? So they all stand there, Frank, and they clap until they score. They did it for 3 minutes last night. That was one of the longer ones. I've seen the Aztecs before on TV struggle to score early in a game, and it takes forever. The worst part, though, here's the worst part when you're San Diego State, is if you struggle to score early in the game and your opponent goes on an 8-0 run to get the game started, you're sitting there clapping. And they'll do that during fouls, like foul shots and stuff, too. It's miserable. But USD last night didn't score. It was 3 minutes of no scoring for either team. But then after those first 2 points, Aztecs ripped off they went on a 13-0 run. They jumped out to a 19-4 lead, showing obviously immediate improvement from their sluggish start against UCLA in that exhibition game. And they were able to do it without Magoon Guath, who's still not cleared to play, and Miles Bird, who's got an abdominal strain. San Diego State imposed its will, dominated the paint, 18-4 in first half points, and shot 54% from the field compared to USD's 29%. For most of the time, I don't know how many times I said on the broadcast, it was Aztecs, 7 of the last 8 for the field. USD, 1 for the last 10. It's a lot of that last night. And a lot of that's from the Aztecs defense, and a lot of that also is from the fact that USD could not hit too many open shots. They got a lot of open looks. The layup game was rough. I mean, the points in the paint was ridiculous in favor of San Diego State. The rebounding, San Diego State doubled the amount of rebounds that USD had. I think it was like 36 to whatever, 13, something crazy like that. I mean, it was just absolute domination in the paint. USD had some bright spots with the way that Moore played last night. He was a newcomer. I really like, for USD, Tyler Johnson. He's a Wake Forest transfer. He spent some time at Louisville, too. He's from Brooklyn. Like, this is a guy that is going to be a good player for San Diego, but he and the rest of the Toreros got to be able to gel together, where I got to see, like, San Diego State has had that experience to gel together so far this year, so far with their team. I mean, it's a lot of the same faces coming back, despite what ESPN.com said about having to replace all these guys that went to the portal. I mean, what? ESPN.com the other day had ranking the potential NCAA tournament teams and like how far they could go. They had San Diego State as could potentially win one game in the NCAA tournament. Give me a break. And the reasoning was having to replace so many that they lost in the transfer portal. What are they talking about? Does anybody pay attention over there? Like, what are they talking about? The best 2 players on the Aztecs last year, Magoo and Miles Bird, entered the portal and came back. And their third best player, who didn't get to play last year because got hurt, Reese Dixon-Waters, is now back. Oh, and by the way, they added freshman Elsie Harrington. He looked pretty good last night. Taj DeGorville looked good last night. Both the Davis kids looked good last night. Miles Heide was great in the paint. Reese Dixon-Waters led the way with 17 points in 18 minutes. Latrell Davis had 13 points. Elsie Harrington had 12 points. Taj DeGorville had 11 points. Miles Heide continued to provide steady interior presence, hauling in 8 rebounds. Brian Dutcher experimented with a couple of rotations. You got to see Louisiana Tech transfer Sean Newman Jr. He looked pretty good last night, too. Farrell Compton was great. You see the guy? Everybody see the highlights of his dunk last night on social media? That was a dunk. Poster. Farrell Compton looked great last night. BJ Davis, Heide had some bench rules. Dutcher said he's, quote, still finding out what we have before the real season begins. I think USD was trying to figure that out too. A lot of guys last night for both USD and San Diego State were playing for playing time. As for USD, they looked overwhelmed. I agree with Mark Ziegler. They looked overwhelmed by playing in that environment and playing against a really good team, and it was just, I mean, they were barely treading water before the game even started. There were a couple of times they showed some bright spots of being able to play, but at that point in time, they were already down by 24 points. And, it was tough to see. Toreros are coming off of a 6-27 campaign and a shaky exhibition win over Division II Cal State Dominguez Hills. Never found a rhythm last night. Allard Johnson, the Wake Forest transfer, again, spent some time at Louisville, led with 12 points, but the Toreros were out-rebounded 49-24 and trailed by as much as 38 last night. Coach Slavin had this to say after the contest. Again, I was part of that scrum. When you play a program like San Diego State with 2+ decades of success, it's an opportunity to learn. We were given a report card tonight. He kept talking about the little report cards. And we'll see what they got. USD will start their season on Tuesday against Occidental. San Diego State will start their campaign on Tuesday night, also at home at Viejas Arena. Next Tuesday on November 4th against Long Beach State. The night also brought, obviously, some somber news. Former Aztec Lamont Butler now in Atlanta. And the Hawks organization, as reported by Mark Ziegler, will miss his entire rookie season with torn ACL and meniscus. Another brutal setback for the March Madness hero. San Diego State, dominant response to what was a rough start against UCLA, where they were down, 17-0 to get the game started. They jumped ahead on USD 19-4. They showed their depth, 43-22 in bench points, scoring edge despite sitting 2 key players. Reese Dixon Waters, 2 straight exhibition games as the Aztecs' top scorer, looks ready to lead and have his Mountain West Player of the Year level season. Sean Newman Jr. started the game. BJ Davis and Heidi came off the bench. Could have I think the rotation for San Diego State is going to be good. I think they have some serious depth for this basketball team. They're going to have a great year. And then from a defensive side, we talk about the defense all the time for the Aztecs. USD shot just 3 for 18 inside the arc in the first half. 3 for 18. We talked about their field goal percentage. It was rough in general. They made a couple of shots from beyond the arc, a couple of uncontested threes, which you need to hit if you're playing a team like San Diego State. But other than that, couldn't really get anything going. Talor Johnson showed flashes, but, he's not going to be a guy that's going to be able to carry a very thin roster that USD has. Now, USD thinks they got some depth here with some of the players they have, and they played a lot of different players last night. I think almost everybody on the roster ended up playing. They got outboarded 49-24, as mentioned before. Coach Lavin talked about the physicality for the game. They got, I don't want to say out-physicaled because I love when people say that because it's funny, but they got outperformed, out-muscled inside. Obviously a serious early concern, and they didn't even have Magoon Guath in there. And after trailing Division II Dominguez Hills last week, a 33-point loss to San Diego State shows just how much they got to go to be the program that they want to be. They had some injuries, too, already. Gavin Ripp had an ankle last night, which is not great. I mean, it's the same ankle that he hurt last year. And so who knows what the status is of Gavin Ripp. And then the Ball State transfer, and Gorosito has a hamstring, so he didn't play any time. And so now they're already in that, power forward spot in a little bit of a behind the 8 ball to start the season. But that's what kind of the key takeaways I got out of last night's contest. For USD, it's going to be an uphill climb. There are some bright spots that you saw last night in the game, but we'll see how they do against Occidental next week. They got a very favorable schedule that will challenge them, but also they should be able to rack up some wins in the non-con. As for San Diego State, without their 2 best players, they still look like a legit team that can compete in the Mountain West Conference without those 2 players that they're going to get back eventually during the season. It's going to be fun to watch San Diego State basketball play this year. It's going to be really fun. 833-288-0973, 833-288-0973. When we come back, let's break this down. The managerial search has been narrowed to 3 finalists. Frank and I will discuss out of these finalists who the best fit is, and we'll just await when the Padres want to make a decision on who their manager is going to be. If that happens during the show, we will be the first to tell you. Braden Surprenant Show, San Diego Someone Sports Station 97 through the Fan. This hour on 97 to the Fans brought to you by Toyota of Poway, voted San Diego's #1 Toyota dealer by USA Today with APRs as low as 0% and tons of new Toyotas on the ground. No tricks, only treats during the Trucktober sales event happening now only at Toyota of Poway or online at toyotaofpoway.com in the heart of San Diego. Any news about the managerial search today?
The Padre managerial search, not that I have seen.
No, I haven't seen it yet either. We'll be on that.
We do have 2 new managers in Major League Baseball, though. Derek Shelton announced as the manager of the Twinks last night, and then the new Nationals manager.
The 33-year-old.
Yes. We're not going down that rabbit hole again.
Blake Butera, who at 33 will be the youngest MLB manager in more than a half century. That's interesting. 33 years old. Fascinating. And you look at the managers that have been hired so far, right?
Yeah, I think it's two of them. Only 2 of them have Major League experience.
That's correct. Jeff Passan put that out. Managerial carousel so far. Blake Butera is the Nationals guy. Derek Shelton now with the Twins. Craig Albernaz as the Orioles. By the way, Albernaz with a thick Boston accent as the Orioles manager. Did you hear him speak the other day?
I did not. No.
Oh my God. Pak the Ka Harvard Yard. I mean, it's just like, it is on. You got to hear it. You got to hear it. Look it up. I bet you that you can find the clip of him saying, like, Orioles fans, I can't wait to get a Camden Yards. Like, it's great. Please look for that. You got to play it for yourself, but you got to play it for the people out there. I got to listen to every one of these guys' press conferences, especially against the Red Sox.
I'm searching it now.
It's going to be great. So Blake Butera gets hired as the Nationals manager. Derek Shelton is the Twins manager. Craig Albernaz, Orioles new manager. Giants go with Tony Vitello. Angels go with Kurt Suzuki. Rangers go with Skip Schumacher. That is 6 of the managers' jobs gone. There's 3 more left. Only 2 of those guys have managing experience, major league managing experience. 4 of those guys do not. Atlanta, San Diego, and Colorado's jobs remain vacant. I would imagine like Colorado's waiting until they get the director, like their director of baseball, right? Everybody thought they had the wrong Butera for that hiring. Yeah, Blake Butera. He's 33 years old. We can get a full background on that. Jeff Passan put an article out about that today. And then the other thing is the Players Association thing is wild. We're going to talk about that at 11 o'clock.
I got the
all right.
sound. I haven't heard it, so this is
all right.
All
right. Here is brand new Orioles manager Craig Albernaz sending like those traditional messages like on social media.
It's only 9 seconds long.
Right. He's got to be like, hey, we're going to need you to tell the fans that you're excited or whatever. Like the social media interns trying to like convince this guy to do this like selfie video he's never done in his life. Here's the new manager of the Orioles.
Hey, Birdland. Craig Albernaz here, your new manager of the Baltimore Orioles. Can't wait to see all you guys out at Camden Yards this year to watch our boys go out there and compete. Hey, Birdland. Craig Albernaz.
Oh, boy.
He sounds like a cop in The Departed. That's what he sounds like.
Oh, boy.
That accent sounds like a conflict of interest. Hey, Birdland. That guy sounds like an Irish cop in Boston. That's what he sounds like. That's like a scene out of The Departed. That's what I feel. Or The Town. Of course he's from Massachusetts. The Birdland's great. Hey, Birdland.
Go Aztecs. That accent sounds like a conflict of interest.
Yes, it does. Every Orioles Red Sox game is going to be nonstop entertainment for the press conference. Hey, Birdland. Play that again. That was great. That needs to be a drop. I don't know what we'd use it for, but it's great. Every time.
We got 3 games against the Orioles this year,
Every time
big dog.
we mention the Orioles, we got to go, hey, Birdland.
Hey, Birdland.
Oh,
Craig Albernaz here, your new manager of the Baltimore Orioles. Can't wait to see all you guys out at Camden Yards this year to watch our boys go out there and compete.
I love it. Hey, Birdland. Guy's trying to arrest Ben Affleck in The Town. Guy talking smack to Matt Damon and Good Will Hunting. He sounds like a cop from a movie in Boston. That's what he sounds like. Chargers play the Eagles in a few weeks. Play the Hey Birdland. Hey Birdland's a new one. Is that a deal? Like, is that?
Yeah,
I don't know. Orioles fans. Is it Birdland?
Somewhat of a gimmick, yeah.
I want him to yell "Oh" during the national anthem. Oh. Boston media needs to submit their interview request ASAP. I love it, dude. I think it's great. Nate Taylor's our resident Massachusetts guy. Is it going to be weird when he's rooting for the Patriots against the Ravens? It's going to be weird. I love it. Marky, Ricky, Danny, Terry, Mikey, Davey, Timmy, Tommy, Joey, Robbie, Johnny, and Brian. Why couldn't he be the Padres manager? I'd be just having a ball every day.
You know what?
I gotta hear it one more time.
There's only one manager that could beat Albert Pujols could win the press conference, and that's this dude.
It's this guy.
Hey, Birdland. Craig Albanese here, your new manager of the Baltimore Orioles. Can't wait to see all you guys out at Camden Yards this year to watch our boys go out there and compete.
Welcome to Petco Pack.
Park the car, Harvard Yard. Marky, Ricky, Danny, Terry, Mikey, Davey, Timmy, Tommy, Joey, Robbie, Johnny, and Brian. That is the one accent I can't really get down. I can't. It's hard. It's hard to do.
If you're trying, because a lot of people mix it with the New York accent.
Yeah, it kind of blends, like that kind of mid-Atlantic area up to the Northeast. It kind of all starts to blend.
When car keys become khakis,
if
you're trying to do a New York accent,
my mom can do it.
If car keys become khakis, you're too far north.
Khakis. Oreo Pack at Camden Yards. Hey, it's gonna be a new way of saying it.
Legend. Just legendary stuff.
Hope he breaks down seasons and quarters. I hope he has a lot of success. He needs to be eventually, this is how this works out. It needs to be like the coaching carousel in college football, where like he gets the Red Sox steal him as the manager. Why do they need Alex Cora for? They could just have the Massachusetts guy. That was phenomenal. I love it. Absolutely love it. That was great. What a bummer, dude. That could have been a great press conference.
It's the only other guy that could have won the press conference.
That's winning the press conference right there. The thick Boston accent.
We're
retweeting
it on the show Twitter account, B_SURP show.
Show everybody.
We're retweeting it right now.
I love it. All right. We only have a couple of minutes here. Let's quickly get through like the process of the search. For the Padres, according to team sources, the front office has narrowed the list of candidates to a small group that includes Nick Hundley, Ruben Niebla, and Albert Pujols, with possibly one or two other names still in consideration. The opening was created by Mike Schilt when he stepped down on October 13th after 2 seasons at the helm. Padres have completed initial interviews and are now in the final stages of their decision-making process. There's no official timetable, but with second-round interviews underway, a hiring decision could come within days. General Manager A.J. Preller emphasized a thorough, quality-driven process, saying, quote, "It's really about getting quality candidates together and being thorough with our process." Top candidates: Ruben Niebla, Albert Pujols, Nick Hundley. Ruben Niebla, currently the Padres pitching coach, a position he's held for 4 seasons, highly respected inside the clubhouse for his communication skills and success developing his pitching staff, has expressed interest in becoming a major league manager in the past. He represents the most prominent internal candidate providing continuity within the organization. The most prominent external candidate, Albert Pujols, future Hall of Famer, 703 home runs, 3,384 hits, 22 MLB career veteran with the Cardinals, Angels, and Dodgers. Since retiring in 2022, he's worked as a special assistant with the Angels and managed Leones de Escogido in the Dominican Winter League, leading them to a Caribbean Series championship in 2025. He would bring star power and leadership experience, though he lacks major league managerial experience. Then it brings up Nick Hundley. A lot of people know about Nick Hundley, obviously a former Padre, former MLB catcher who played 12 seasons, including 7 with San Diego, retired in 2019 and has served as a special assistant to the Texas Rangers front office since 2022, was previously considered for the Giants managerial job before Tony Vitello was hired. That was his job to lose. He didn't want it. He didn't want to move. He wanted to stay in San Diego, which he lives currently. Known for his baseball intellect and leadership during his playing career. While Niebla, Pujols, and Hundley are confirmed finalists, one or two unnamed candidates might still be under consideration. The team has not disclosed further details about who those individuals might be. Next Padres manager will inherit a talented but uncertain roster with several key offseason decisions ahead. San Diego's reached the playoffs in back-to-back years, only the second time in franchise history that's happened. AJ Preller described the job as, quote, really attractive, citing the club's strong fan support, over 3.5 million fans annually, strong player development system, and a World Series pursuit that remains the ultimate goal. That's what you need to know about the managerial search. Who is the best out of that group? Well, we're going to take a deeper dive into Nick Hundley later in the show. We've spent enough time, I think, on Albert Pujols. Correct, Frank?
Yes.
I mean, we've said basically everything that we need to say about Albert Pujols. The only thing that we haven't said yet is he had a 9.5-hour interview. It's about it. Barstool Sports said that was about to turn into a sleepover. It's a great tweet right there. But there are some pros to Nick Hundley too. And some people yesterday were like, absolutely not a Nick Hundley. In the 11 o'clock hour, we're going to talk about Nick Hundley. We're going to talk about what he brings to the table, why he would be a good candidate. I've already mentioned, out of the three, I like Albert Pujols because I think he's exactly what the Padres need right now. But that doesn't mean like Nick Hundley's not a good candidate. And we'll talk about his candidacy in the next hour. We will also, when we come back, talk about what's going on with the MLB Players Association and why they're getting investigated by the feds. That's an interesting story that dropped today by Jeff Pass, and we'll get you all the details of that as we start the 11 o'clock hour. San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. All guests on 97 to the Fan join us on the David P. Shapiro Fan Hotline. David P. Shapiro, criminal defense attorneys helping good people regain control of their future when charged with a crime since 2010. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com. Let's talk about what happened today on a Jeff Passan announcement. Talking about the Players Association, the MLB Players Association. You ready for this, Frank?
No, but I
guess you have to be.
Yeah.
Federal authorities are investigating Players Way, a youth baseball company owned by the Major League Baseball Players Association, over alleged financial mismanagement, misuse of funds, and potential self-dealing by union leadership. Oh, boy. That doesn't sound good for a labor negotiation, Frank. Here's some of the key facts in the timeline of this deal. So, Players Way was founded in 2019 by MLB Players Association Executive Director Tony Clark, with the stated goal of, quote, fixing youth baseball and providing affordable, values-driven instruction to kids. That sounds great. Does that not sound great?
It does.
That sounds great. Here's the reality. The company reportedly spent between $3.9 million and $10 million in union funds while producing very few events, with many poorly attended or canceled. Here it is. In revenue, they barely made six figures in 5 years, meaning almost no return on the multi-million-dollar investment. They had 6 baseball clinics, 4 mental skills webinars, and a few small camps and tournaments since 2019, most with fewer than 25 kids signed up. Odd. Where do we think this is going? Their location, you know their official location, their official headquarters, Frank, of Players Way?
Where is it?
It is listed as a UPS store mailbox in a Florida strip mall between a liquor store and a hair salon. That sounds super legit. Right? Right? If you don't know Frank's reaction, he is in a box right now. He's leaning back. His hands are on his head. Cannot believe how bad this is. This is new information to you, by the way, right? That part?
Yep, it is.
The headquarters of this, listed as a UPS store mailbox in a Florida strip mall between a liquor store and a hair salon. MLB Players Association says it invested $3.9 million, but whistleblower sources told investigators it could be closer to $10 million, with much of it going to salaries and consulting fees. Wow. Salaries, consulting fees. Nice. 6-figure payouts went to former MLB players and union insiders, including Chris Iannetta, $156,000. Kevin Reynolds, $167,000. DJ Weibick, $182,000. Many of whom were also working other full-time jobs. A little side hustle for these guys. Fanatics, an MLB Players Association licensing partner, contributed $1.2 million between 2022 and 2024 to, quote, fund youth baseball development through Players Way. No independent budget for Players Way, no public accounting, and reportedly, quote, money just going out the door, per one former union official. Oh, boy. Doesn't sound great, Frank.
No.
But wait, there's more. This whole federal inquiry and allegations were triggered by a whistleblower complaint in November of 2024 that accused Tony Clark of misuse of resources, nepotism, and abuse of power. The investigation, led by the U.S. Attorney's Office in Brooklyn, has also looked into the MLB Players Association's ties to One Team Partners, a $2 billion licensing venture co-owned by the Players Association of the MLB and the NFL Players Association. Investigators are reportedly probing excessive travel spending by union executives, nepotism, in which one of Tony Clark's daughters worked for Players Way and another for the Players Association in the NFL, and real estate deals linked to Clark's office space in Scottsdale and Manhattan. Tony Clark, who has not been charged, calls the allegations, quote, baseless, and insists Players Way was, quote, created to protect kids from exploitation in youth sports. That's kind of ironic, is it not? Current MLB players reportedly frustrated and blindsided by the costs. Quote, whenever Players Way is mentioned, we all just nod along, but I don't think any of us realized it cost as much as it did. One player leader told ESPN, it doesn't matter how much we've made, waste is waste. Company had no clear business plan, few staff, only 6 employees and contractors, and minimal public presence. Quote, a YouTube channel with 1 subscriber. 1. After severing ties with USSSA, which is its youth baseball partner, in 2023 due to a separate federal lawsuit, Players Way's footprint further diminished. By 2025, only a handful of small tournaments, one with the Texas Rangers third baseman Josh Young, remained active. How about that? Wow. Quote from another player, it is unclear who is in charge, who is running it. Former player who spoke on condition of anonymity. Someone needed to be the CEO, but the people in charge said, I don't have time, but they were all getting paid. How about that? There was another part of this article that I thought was very fascinating about the budgets of these things. The union provided ESPN with an annual breakdown of money it says it spent on Players Way. In 2018, according to the MLB Players Association, Players Way spent $181,000, a figure that grew annually and peaked in 2024 at $1.1 million. This year, as of October 6th, the union said $647,000 has been spent on Players Way. While public union filings show the MLB Players Association committed a total of only $83,000 to Players Way, nearly all of the $3.8 million the union said Players Way has spent came from the Players Inc. Like Players Way, the finances of Players Inc. are not disclosed to the Department of Labor. There's one other one in here about how much money they use and like the budgets that they have.
This is why you can never go to bat for anyone. It's because they turn out to all be reprehensible human beings.
Here we go.
You are, from what sounds like, disguising a money laundering scheme as a beneficiary to youth sports. That's just all of the jail time. Go away.
Here's what it says. Again, Clark, who has not been charged with any crime, has dismissed all of these allegations. Union officials declined to say how Players Way spent millions of dollars. Nice. The union told ESPN it has 3 budgets. This is the MLB Players Association. They got 3 budgets. One for operations, $27.5 million this year. Another for MLB Players Inc., its for-profit licensing firm. That budget is $7.1 million this year. And here's the best one. And a third players-approved, quote, discretionary budget for Tony Clark to spend as he sees fit. The union declined to say how much cash was in the discretionary pot this year, whether Players Way was ever funded from discretionary funds, or whether players specifically approved spending by the company. So they have $27 million for a budget for operations, $7.1 million budget for their licensing firm, and then this third player-approved discretionary budget for Tony Clark to spend as he sees fit, that they will not release the information of how much money is in said budget. Hello? Red flag. Hello?
I'm gonna turn this off.
Your microphone?
Yep.
If you have nothing nice to say, don't say it at all.
No, because I don't trust myself right now. So this is
What
turning off.
a story. What a story. Now, Tony Clark has released a statement. MLB Players Association Executive Director Tony Clark released the following statement to ESPN. Quote, from its creation in 2019, the mission of Players Way has been clear: to empower tomorrow's generation of players by providing access to the knowledge, experience, and talents of the best our game has to offer our current and former players, and to serve as an oasis for young athletes and families who too often get exploited in today's billion-dollar youth sports machinery.
Oh, really?
Quote, any suggestion that Players Way has not been supported by our elected player representatives and broader membership is patently false. Players Way has been front and center at every annual meeting of the Players Association Executive Board in recent memory, and our dialogue with players regarding youth development continues throughout the calendar. The goal, informed by players themselves, isn't to become just another cog in the youth sports machinery, putting profits over players. It aims higher, to meet players where they are, teach the game the right way, and to foster lifelong lessons, creating lifelong fans. Future generations deserve nothing less.
That was not Tony Clark that wrote that. That was Tony Clark's lawyers, number one. And number two, from what it sounds like, the players back it because they have no idea what it is.
They don't know. They get told this BS. They give them money, and then they put on, what did they say, 6 clinics? They have had, this is what they've done with this: 6 baseball clinics, 4 mental health skills webinars, and a few small camps and tournaments since 2019. Most with fewer than 25 kids signed up. That's since 2019. That's like, what, 6 years ago? It's been 6 years of this. That's all they got? 1 clinic a year? And they're spending how much money on this?
I hate people so much.
They're spending so much money on this. Meanwhile, they're paying for all of these salaries that these like entities have. And again, it strikes me as any other type. This is a for-profit business, by the way. It's not a nonprofit, so I can't give them the whole nonprofit spiel. But this is like what politicians do all the time. Hey, here's this nonprofit I'm going to be on the board of. And what nonprofit means, it doesn't mean nonprofit. It means people involved with that are making profit. It's just the company itself cannot have money left over when it was all said and done. That's what makes it a nonprofit. The NFL for so many years was a nonprofit entity. FIFA is a nonprofit entity. That doesn't mean people ain't making money. Nonprofit means people are making profits. That's what that means. But this isn't a nonprofit. This is a for-profit business. So I can't give you the whole nonprofit spiel of all these politicians that create these fake, look how much I care about people, organizations I'm a member of the board for, that I get funding from the government on all these gigantic bills. And since I'm the CEO or the leader of this for nonprofit, I get to basically make all this money laundered through. And it's great because politicians do it. But now all of a sudden, that's what this looks like it is. Again, nobody's been charged. These are just allegations, all that fun stuff, mumbo jumbo. I look at this and I go, hang on a second. You start following the money here. This ain't making a lot of sense, Frank.
No, it's not. And it's disgusting. It really, really is. You're disguising a money laundering scheme as something to benefit youth sports. You are making yourself rich on the back of saying, I'm helping children. Go away. Federal prison forever. You are a disgusting, reprehensible human being. You absolutely are.
Federal investigators declined to comment, citing the ongoing inquiry. Union revenues have grown significantly in recent years through the creation of One Team Partners, a group licensing firm for the Players Association, co-founded with the National Football League Players Association in 2019, as we mentioned before. In May, ESPN reported that investigators from the Justice Department were looking into the union's financial dealings with One Team. That's the combo between the NFL and MLB Players Association, which 3 years ago had the valuation of nearly $2 billion. Sources interviewed by ESPN said the investigation widened this summer to include Players Way. Investigators also have asked witnesses about whistleblower allegations of excessive union spending on international and domestic trips for Tony Clark and other senior union executives, the sources said.
And you guys wonder why we don't back the players union.
I don't back either, right?
Yeah, we don't back the owners. We don't back the players union. We are on a side. We're on our side, the fans' side. That's what we're on when it comes to these new CBA discussions. Because the second you back somebody, it's like, okay, we're setting up an organization. Okay, that's interesting. Setting up an organization to help kids. Cool. Setting up an organization to help kids get into professional sports. Amazing. In underserved areas. That's really awesome. But we're making ourselves even more rich than we already are. Okay, cool. Now you lost me. No salary floor, salary cap at like $100 million now. That's it. Done. None of you get any money.
I'm not going to be that extreme, but I will say this. This is why every time I hear the I will always back the players thing, these are not coal miners making like $3 an hour trying to make $3.50. I mean, all of these rich entities have these little dealings that they try to make a little extra cash, and this is what they do. And this is why our narrative on this show is what is the best for the sport of baseball. And so when we go into the next labor negotiations, I just want it to be clear. I don't really care how much either entity makes. I don't care. I don't care how much the owners make. I don't care how much the players make. I'm not picking a side. What I want is the best for baseball. And right now, what I think the best for baseball is to be a competitive league that I find entertaining would be a salary cap and a salary floor. I want to see the best players in the world compete at a high level and have everybody have an opportunity to win a World Series. That's what I want to see in a sporting event. That's what got us on a tirade yesterday arguing about parity in leagues. I don't think the NFL is clear from being all wrongdoing, but I'm going to tell you right now, the league is set up to be entertaining, and I like the way that it's set up. But this is just insane. Now, here's about the investigation, other details from this article by Jeff Passan on ESPN.com. The lead agency here is the U.S. Attorney's Office in Brooklyn, same office behind the high-profile NBA corruption probe, by the way, Frank. They're on this one, too. The scope has been widened to include union finances, discretionary budgets, and third-party licensing deals. Potential outcome could expose structural financial abuse within one of the sport's most powerful labor organizations. Ha! About Tony Clark, MLB Players Association, first former player to lead the union. He's a San Diego guy. He's seen as a respected, player-friendly figure. Maybe. His leadership is now under fire for lack of transparency and potential nepotism.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What a thought.
About Players Way. It's marketed as an oasis for young athletes and families. In reality, seems like it's a money pit with few results, barely any visibility, and a non-existent infrastructure. Symbolic of deeper issues in sports unions, blurred lines between advocacy and business.
I wonder how much money he gave San Diego Studios this year to make him, who was a below average player, such a prominent figure as a legend of the game in MLB The Show this year. I wonder how much money he gave them now out of this non-discretionary fund.
Amid rising TV revenue and billion-dollar licensing partnerships, bad look for MLB Players Association. Bad look for baseball overall. A sport trying to grow youth participation while its union is under federal scrutiny for allegedly mismanaging funds meant for kids. Yeah, that's a rough look. Well, here's the other thing, too, the Tony Clark situation. Are the players after this going to be like, what's this guy doing in charge of? We're giving this guy how much money? And this is what they're doing with it? If there's turmoil within the players union right before a player negotiation, I mean, this is great for the owners. If you want to talk about the fight between the players and the owners in the next labor negotiation. I mean, this is a divided potential players association.
If I'm Major League Baseball, say nothing.
Oh, yeah.
Bite your tongue as tight as you possibly can. Do not interrupt your opponent while they're making a mistake. They are showing their asses right now. Do not say anything. As powerful as the urge might be to rub their noses in it, say nothing. They're shooting themselves in the foot. Don't tell them, hey, you forgot to cock that. Don't, just let them be. Let them do it. Let them make a mistake. Let them make their mistake.
There's a couple of things you can get out of this. And one take that I got, the one angle that I got on this that It's going to be so ironic. We'll talk about it when we come back because we got to take a break. This is a crazy story about the Players Association and the misuse of funds that is directly not investing in the kids that they said they're going to invest in. We'll talk more about this as we return on the Braden Surprenant Show, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97 through the Fan. Can't count on much, but you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus. Stream your local NFL game live every Sunday all season long, starting at just $30 for your first year. That's like $250 a month. Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get started today. This Tony Clark Players Association story is kind of crazy today. The Players Association's Players Way, which is an organization designed to help kids, the official thing, fixing youth baseball and providing affordable, values-driven instruction to kids, is being investigated by the feds for misuse of funds and everything like that. And the thing that's interesting, we laid it all out at the first segment of this hour. But how about this? Like, we're about to embark on a situation where we got the millionaires versus the billionaires, Frank, right? The Players Association fighting billionaires on one side while then acting like them on the other side. I mean, this is why you can't pick sides in this deal. This is a fight that's that doesn't involve people that are not part of the situation. So we had somebody in the YouTube chat bring that up the last time we talked about this a couple of months ago. I remember we had this conversation and people always go I'm always on the players' side. Not me, but those people. It's just why you can't be on any side.
Exactly right.
You let it play out. I'm on baseball's side. The sport of baseball. I saw in the chat, and it's true, Jim Hunter commented in the YouTube chat. He actually does on Facebook, regarding nonprofits. And I remember this when I worked with a nonprofit. He goes, my ex is deeply involved in them, and I asked her at one point what percentage actually has to go to the cause. She told me for a 501c, it's 10%. It's mind-blowing. When people actually figure out what nonprofits are, their mind gets blown all the time. I mean, nonprofits get donations, and they get funding from the government and all that stuff. 10% of it goes to this cause, so you can pretend you're self-righteous. And then everybody that works there makes gobs of money. I mean, the executives, the people at the top of these nonprofit organizations make a lot of money. And I remember as a kid, it was you would listen to the nonprofit thing and be like, oh yeah, he works at a nonprofit. How does he make any, does he get paid? Was he just doing this for free? Was he a peace worker? Part of the Peace Corps? No, it's not that. They make tons of money. That's one way to look at this. It's the players union sitting there going battling the billionaires while they act like it with these youth camps that they barely put on. They put on 6 youth camps since 2019 with this association that's getting $3 million. All the people working for this making hundreds of thousands of dollars in salaries. But how about the fact we skimmed over Fanatics gave them $1.2 million in an investment, and they're misusing those funds. If Fanatics money was misused, it's not just a Players Way problem. Isn't it a sports business credibility problem, Frank?
Yes. And that's why we said with the whole NBA stuff that now if the feds are probing into sports, we're going to see a lot of stories like this. The NBA betting scandal was just the tip of the iceberg. It's going to get deeper. It's going to get worse. And it's going to frustrate us as fans even more. If you were frustrated about the NBA stuff, you're not. It's only going downhill from here. That was just the start of it. And now you're giving the feds more and more reason to investigate more and more sports because they're finding things. And they're finding things that we should know about. That this is not good for sports. The feds being on your back is not a good thing, period. But when they start finding things, it's only going downhill.
And this is happening with a lot of organizations.
Yes.
Not all, but a lot.
We're used to seeing this on Wall Street in the big financial sectors. We're not
see
used
this
to
on
seeing this
CNN
in
and
sports.
Fox News when it comes to
Yes.
some politician finagling money for their campaign.
This is now it's corporate it's corporate issues coming into sports now.
The other thing with this is like this is going on in a lot of different and remember, this is a for-profit entity. It's not a non-profit entity. It is different. But there's a lot of this going on all over the world with these organizations. And it's just a matter of like investigating it. And then like a lot of the government don't have time to investigate all these things. You see how the government works. You see how like everybody's making deals. Yeah, you ever watch the TV series like House of Cards?
No, I did not.
With Kevin Spacey?
I've heard of it. I've probably seen.
It's a really good show, but it's like the whole concept of like the most important thing is power and not money. Even though like with money you do gain power, the power thing was always like the main driver of that. House of Cards is like it's a fictional Netflix series where Kevin Spacey is a politician. And he basically works his way up through like knowing people making deals. And you see like the dirty side of politics and the dirty side of whatever. And he even says it like that's a politics. But this is like the dirty side of a lot of these things that a lot of people like us, average Joes, if you will, don't pay attention to. It just goes over our head. This happens all the time. It happens a lot. But the thing that happened was they got a whistleblower complaint in 2024 about misuse of resources, and they were looking into the whatever it's called, that organization that is combined between the MLB Players Association and the NFL Players Association called One Team. And then all of a sudden it opens up a can of worms of like, oh, what's this? What's this? What's this? What's this? What's this? And all of a sudden you have all of these problems on your hands. And again, this is why like you can't pick a side in these labor negotiations because you have millionaires and billionaires fighting over it. You got to stick with the baseball side. What makes baseball the better sport? That's what I'm looking for in the next CBA. This is a very damning article. It's very damning accusations for the Players Association right before a year out from having to go into labor negotiations with the owners. And there's dysfunction, and there's a lot of players that do not like where this money is going, and there might be a lot of them that might be learning about this now for the first time that may be like, hey, what's going on with this that we're giving money to? I think the shadiest part about this entire thing was the portion that we mentioned earlier about the budgets for the players union. Union officials declined to say how Players Way spent millions of dollars. The union told ESPN it has three budgets, one for operations at $27.5 million, another for MLB Players Inc. It's a for-profit licensing firm at $7.1 million this year, and a third players approved discretionary budget for Clark to spend as he sees fit. That one right there is the one that immediately go, okay, major red flag. This is a problem. Not a story I thought would pop up on our radar today. There's a lot of other stories that might have popped up on our radar, and we'll talk about those stories in the sports thread when we come back. Braden Surprenant Show, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. This hour, 97 through the fans, brought to you by Toyota of Poway, voted San Diego's #1 Toyota dealer by USA Today with APRs as low as 0% and tons of new Toyotas on the ground. No tricks, only treats during the Trucktober sales event happening now. Only at Toyota of Poway or online at toyotapoway.com in the heart of San Diego. He's Frank Marchese. I'm Braden Surprenant. This is the Braden Surprenant Show, live and local each every day from 10 to 2 on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. Any other comments on that story that came down today? Did you have that in the sports thread?
Nope, did not.
We had some other things too, like I don't want to get into it now, but has anybody seen what's going on in Dallas between the Mavericks and the Stars right now?
Yeah, we were going to talk about that yesterday.
We might have some time to talk about that today. I mean, they have a full-scale arena war going on between the Mavericks and the Stars.
It's being duplicated in Los Angeles right now, actually.
Yeah, honestly. Anybody else see the fact that the Rose Bowl and Pasadena are suing UCLA over them potentially trying to move games to SoFi Stadium as part of a breach of contract? Because they have a deal put in place where UCLA is going to play their home games at the Rose Bowl till 2044. And with declining attendance numbers for UCLA, they're averaging 34,000 fans at their games right now at the Rose Bowl. 34,000 fans fits into Snapdragon Stadium. The Rose Bowl holds over 100,000 people. They're getting like a max attendance of a Mountain West game right now. The only schools, by the way, since they've joined the Big Ten, they are like the third worst in attendance for home football games, UCLA. The only other teams that have less average attendance, Northwestern, who, by the way, is playing in a makeshift stadium right now as they await the new stadium to be built on campus, and Maryland, who's also doing renovations to their stadium. Those are the only two schools in the Big Ten that have had smaller attendance figures than UCLA for home football games. UCLA is trying to fix a problem. Somebody's asked before about UCLA, and this continues to happen every single time, because how do you get college students to drive to Pasadena to go to a football game to watch a mediocre football team, if that, a lousy football team? And so people go like, they need to build an on-campus stadium. That would never happen. You know, the people of Westwood, you're going to like bring in a college football stadium in their neighborhood? There's no way. What are they going to play at SoFi? Oh, that's going to be better. You try to drive anywhere in LA. I mean, the fact that UCLA's got an off-campus stadium, I don't know what the attendance is ever going to be like. Plus, that's an SC town anyway when it comes to football. Go to Pauley Pavilion for the basketball games. Go to the Coliseum for Trojans games. That's your college sports in LA. For all the casuals out there. That's a lawsuit going on. The Maverick Stars American Airlines Center lawsuit's going on right now. Maverick sued the Stars over a breach of contract issue that's might be dirtier than you think from the Mavericks standpoint of things, and the Stars are now countersuing. That's an interesting story when it comes to sports business too. And then all of a sudden we had the Players Association, misuse of funds story that came out today with Jeff Passan. And last week we had the whole betting scandal and the Mafia NBA deal. What's going on?
This show is going to turn into a 30 for 30 show here pretty soon if this keeps going on.
What was that show on ESPN back in the day with Bob Lee, or whatever his guy's name was? Outside the Lines?
Oh, yeah.
About to be outside the lines. But with two schmucks talking about nothing. A couple of George Costanzas here doing outside the lines. And playing random clips from the Baltimore Orioles manager.
Hey, Birdland.
Hey, Birdland. How about them Aztecs, Sean?
How about them Aztecs?
That's right. Wow. It's crazy. These are all stories, by the way, that are not in today's sports thread. So what else is going on in the sports world, Frank?
You know that group chat, the one that's always blowing up with the biggest sports takes, debates, and breaking news?
You got barbecue back there, and you didn't invite me?
Yeah, we've got that too. Welcome to the Sports Thread, where we break down the top 5 stories in sports, just like you would with your crew.
Oh, no! Disaster!
What a bad
No
idea.
filters, no silence, just real talk. Brought to you by QC Kinetics. Stop sitting on the sidelines. QC Kinetics gets you back in the game without surgery. To learn how, visit QCkinetics.com.
We mentioned it too before Frank gets to the sports thread. We mentioned last week with the NBA. For everybody that wanted to dance on the NBA's grave, what did we say? Just wait. It's going to be a lot of other leagues that are going to have their own problems, and now you're seeing baseball's problem. I think this probe that they have, it's the same. I think it's all connected, and the more they look into this stuff, the more that they're going to uncover more and more problems with this.
Yep. I guess we'll start off on the true crimes.
Back to the true crime
Yeah,
stuff.
we'll start off with that.
Number 1.
Louisiana Governor Jeff Landry has told reporters yesterday that LSU athletic director Scott Woodward will not be involved in selecting the Tigers' new coach, saying he'd let President Trump do it before Woodward. The Tigers fired Brian Kelly on Sunday.
I'm sorry, he said he'd let Donald Trump pick the coach before the AD.
Yes.
That's crazy.
The Tigers fired Brian Kelly on Sunday, a day after his team lost 49-25 to Texas A&M. Kelly, 64, had a 34-14 record in 4 seasons at LSU, winning just under 71% of his games. The Tigers have lost 3 of their last 4, after climbing to number 3 in the polls. Scott Landry told reporters during a news conference at the state capitol in Baton Rouge, quote, "No, I can tell you right now, Scott Woodward is not selecting our new coach." Why
does he still have a job? Exactly. Why does he still have a job? If he's not selecting the head coach, what does he do? What exactly does he do? Go to meetings? They send the presidents to these meetings. What does he do? What do ADs do right now? I mean, seriously, with and I'm talking more of the power schools, with all the money going around, all that stuff. Like, what does he do? Why is he still hired? Like, why is he still employed? I found this interesting the other day. I saw that we talked about this. How many days ago did we talk about the whole, like, they need a front office conversation? What was that, Monday? Tuesday? What's today? Thursday?
Yes.
I think it was either Monday or Tuesday. We talked about this. And you know what TCU did? Like, the next day, they're like, hey, look, there's this new lily pad, I don't know, some BS frog thing that they had to, play on words to sound cute. They're making a front office for the athletic department that's going to make that's going to help with NIL and signing kids and all that stuff. Why doesn't every college just do that? If you view the AD as like a pseudo general manager of the sports, like, shouldn't he be getting fired? He's had 2 terrible hires for 2 different schools. He hired Jimbo Fisher and he hired Brian Kelly. Why is the guy still employed? Save the money. Just fire him. Seriously, what does he do? Was he helping the gymnastics team out at LSU? What a waste. Guy's like, he's not going to pick the coach. What is he employed for then? Is he scheduling games for LSU football? Like, what does he do? What a waste of money. If you don't trust him to pick the next head coach, why is he still employed? Baffling to me. The guy said he'd rather have Donald Trump pick the next coach for LSU than you as the AD. Brother, it's time to pack it up and get out.
I understand that LSU, Louisiana State University, is a state-run school. Why are government officials
state-run school, dog?
I understand.
It just means more, bud.
It's like, come on. You don't have anything better to do. You're worried about the Louisiana State football team.
Is this your first time with the government? Is this your first time with politicians, man?
I get it, but
it's all a dog and pony show that play on people's emotions, and then in the end, they get all the money, and we're just yelling at each other. That's my take on politics for the day.
Number 2.
Carson Wentz took a dramatic step Wednesday to diffuse the controversy over his painful final appearance with the Minnesota Vikings, saying he bears no ill will towards the franchise, making it clear he did not want Coach Kevin O'Connell to remove him from last Thursday's game against the Chargers. Wentz said, quote, "This isn't my first rodeo. I'm not an idiot. I know what I was signing up for to go out there. Nobody was forcing me, pressuring me, any of those things to play." We said it yesterday, it's organizational malpractice. Well, I said that at least yesterday, that they had Carson Wentz play. That's one of those situations where the organization does have to step in and say, listen, we got to save you from yourself right now. Is it not?
I mean, sometimes it's just it's a hard dynamic of whatever. I mean, sometimes you do. I think with like head injuries, that's the most. This is like a shoulder thing.
Yeah.
There's only so much that you can physically do with some of these guys, and the thing is there's a lot of players that are playing with like injuries and a lot of pain because it's a paycheck, and if they don't get it, they ain't getting paid. That's why like the Players Association for baseball has been the best. Reserve comments for later, but they have been the best in getting guaranteed contracts, everything like that for their players. The NFL Players Association sucks. Like they don't help their guys out at all. And so you play in a league that your entire body and life is on the line every time you go out there and play, and you make less money than a lot of the other leagues, and it's not guaranteed. I mean, you're just to have like they just get rid of you if that's the case, and guys are worried about that. And what are you gonna do? Prevent him from making a lot? It's a complex deal. The NFL is just the wild thing on that. They're going to protect the player from himself if it involves a lawsuit to them. That's how it's going to play out. It's the business side of this that involves a lot of people's health. And if the guy says he could go and he's going to go, then there's nothing more that you could do about that. Unless, again, he's got a nasty concussion or something and this is why there's all this training. It's a complex issue.
Number 3.
We're going to file this one under the, wow, you actually had to come out and say this part, didn't you? Miami Heat guard Terry Rozier, nor Portland Trailblazers coach Chauncey Billups will be paid while they're on leave from the NBA during this federal investigation. Rozier's salary, which was about $26.6 million this year, paid in installments, will be held in escrow per sources. If Rozier is cleared and allowed to return to the NBA, which placed him on leave hours after his October 23rd arrest, he would receive the held payments in full. Billups' salary is $7 million. It is the same exact situation. We had to come out and say that these guys weren't getting paid while they're under federal investigation.
They are getting paid, right?
No, they're not.
They're not getting paid.
No, that's what they just said.
Oh, really?
They're not
getting paid. For a while, they said they were getting paid, which doesn't surprise me.
Well, as this said, they're not getting paid. But if they're cleared and allowed to return, they're going to get the money.
They get all that money back.
They'll get the money that they would have earned.
I would be surprised if that's the case. Somebody's going to be a fall guy, and it ain't going to be those, and it might not be those guys. And then they'll just be suspended from the NBA, and they'll collect their check, and they'll be out.
Just unbelievable.
Number 4.
We'll close out with a happy story. What do you say?
That sounds good.
Loyola Chicago men's basketball players will wear a patch on their jersey this season to honor Sister Jean Dolores Schmidt, the beloved longtime chaplain who passed away earlier this month. Loyola announced its plans on Tuesday in a social media post that include the caption, "Our biggest fan will be with us all season long." It's a very nice patch. It's right over the Nike logo on the quote-unquote sleeve. I believe we have a Sister Jean bobblehead over that direction somewhere. Very, very, very nice on Loyola Chicago doing this.
Very, very nice. Yeah, absolutely. And it's a good heartwarming story to finish up the sports thread today after a lot of chaos and corruption. And we have more of it that we're going to talk about later on the show. The Mavericks and the Stars. What is going on? It's hilarious. The older I get, the more I realize that like these entities act like children a lot of the times. It's dysfunctional. It's hilarious. I can't wait to talk about it. When we come back, let's talk about something good. Let's talk about Nick Hundley, why he makes a good candidate for the Padres as their manager. When we come back on the Braden Surprenant Show.
San Diego, it's time to fire it up. From the beaches to the ballparks, from the Gaslamp to North County, no one knows America's finest city like he does.
You can't just punt on a Manny Machado prime year.
He's a fourth-generation San Diegan, born and raised in the heart of this community. Passionate, opinionated, and always bringing you the real talk on your teams, your city, and everything in between.
Braden totally knows his stuff. He's ready for the next step. That guy is good.
Live and local, it's the Braden Surprenant Show.
But I think Braden's one of the up-and-coming young stars in the media game in San Diego.
Now, here's your host, Braden Surprenant.
Lunchtime hour. And here at 97 through the Fan and Odyssey, today is our pseudo Oktoberfest Halloween party. So it's like Oktoberfest food mixed with like Halloween costumes. As you could tell, Frank and I definitely participated today in the Halloween dressing. I'm an Oilers fan. Ha ha!
I am an MLB Players Association fan.
No, you're not. You're definitely not. So, they had brats and mac salad, which is delicious. They had some dessert over there too, Frank. I saw you
there was
eyeballing
a
that cake.
in there,
Yeah. Might have to participate in that a little bit later. So that distracted us a little bit. The brat was good. I almost destroyed. I got like 2 bites left. Jocelyn, I'll wear the Sage Creek shirt later. I will. This is like one of the only days I'm not wearing a cathedral shirt. I cannot wear, like the days I don't have to wear football practice stuff is great because I can wear grown-up clothes instead of workout stuff.
It's regular people stuff.
That's right. So today we have a game. We'll talk high school football later on in the show. Last regular season games of the year, tonight and tomorrow throughout the county. They announced the playoff pairings on Saturday. There's a lot to play for in high school football. But on high school football day on games, game days, I have time to actually go home, change, and then go to Cathedral instead of having to wear all that stuff to school to work.
Are we doing free agency in this segment here?
No.
Oh,
We're going to talk about Nick Hundley.
gotcha.
Why'd you ask? Because that's what was on the list eventually?
No, because I just saw a free agency story that came out yesterday about Tariq Skubal.
Oh, yeah. I mean, did you see that? Like how much the Tigers offered him?
So the Tigers offered Tariq Skubal lower than 4 years, $80 million. To put that into perspective, is Robert Suarez as good as Tariq Skubal?
No.
Well, that's what Robert Suarez is projected. He's projected to make that, and the Tigers offered him less than that. This contract would leave the two sides facing a financial gap of roughly $320 million.
Yeah, jeez. And this is why they want to trade him.
Yep.
Organizational malpractice is what that is.
Yep.
This is also the problem with Major League Baseball. Is the Tigers don't want to spend money on Tariq Skubal, who's like the best pitcher in the league, and he's going to be a free agent. He'll either get traded or he's going to end up on the Dodgers. It's like only a matter of time. Seriously. It's only like a matter of time. Like the same teams are going to get the same players over and over again. We go this endless cycle. This is why people don't want to watch this sport. Some of it's the Dodgers. A lot of it's the other teams, too, that don't want to spend any money. Terrible. All guests on the Braden Surprenant Show join us on the David P. Shapiro fan hotline. David P. Shapiro, criminal defense attorneys, helping good people regain control of their future when charged with a crime since 2010. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com. Let's talk about Nick Hundley. We could talk about how dumb the Tigers are later. Nick Hundley, when he joined the Giants in 2017, he was already a 9-year MLB vet, but had never served as a backup catcher before. Knowing he would play behind Buster Posey, he deliberately prepared himself for a humbler, team-oriented role by reading The Freedom of Self-Forgetfulness, a faith-based book about humility and serving others. This is in an article today about Nick Hundley. Mindset helped Hundley quickly earn respect in a new clubhouse. Despite being a reserve, he became a central leadership figure and, remarkably, the only backup catcher in franchise history to win the Willie Mack Award, given annually to the player who best exemplifies leadership spirit and determination. Posey, the Giants' star catcher and now front office leader, later called Hundley, quote, one of my all-time favorite teammates and one of my best friends.
That's a rare thing. I didn't actually post the article with this. I don't normally forget to do that. This is actually from a while ago. This was before the Giants had actually hired their coach.
Correct.
But it was an article from then, but it's your deep dive into Nick
Hundley.
Anyway,
because the Giants personnel were probably thinking that this was going to be the hire.
Yes.
Hundley played 2 seasons with the Giants before moving on, but his influence left a lasting mark, especially on Posey, who is now helping lead the organization as part owner and executive. Posey is currently searching for the Giants' next manager at the time this article is written, and Hundley is widely viewed as the favorite for the job, having gone through multiple interviews. Tony Vitello got that job. Nick Hundley didn't want to leave San Diego. Now 42, Hundley lives in San Diego with his wife, Amy, their 2 daughters, Allie and Haley. Previously turned down an interview for the Giants managerial opening in 2022 because of family considerations and his work-life balance. Hundley is also deeply involved in charitable and faith-based work, including a ministry in Uganda that built a school and supports clean water projects. His father, Tim Hundley, was a longtime college football coach, and his career forced the family to move frequently. As a result, Nick learned adaptability, resilience, and how to connect with new people quickly, traits that later shaped his leadership style. Nick Hundley's teammates and coaches consistently described him as disciplined, selfless, and relentlessly prepared. Former teammate Will Venable, who's now the manager of the White Sox, called him, quote, the real deal, someone who constantly pushes both himself and his teammates to improve. Posey described him as a, quote, maniac about the details, a word former Giants manager Bruce Bochy also used to capture his work ethic and obsession with preparation. Though Hundley has no formal coaching or managerial experience, he has spent years learning the game from behind the plate, managing pitchers, and handling high-pressure game situations, essentially serving as an on-field extension of the coaching staff. After retiring in 2019, he joined the MLB Commissioner's Office as a Senior Director of Baseball Operations, working on rule changes and disciplinary matters. He later followed Chris Young to the Texas Rangers, where he served as a special assistant, advising on player development and acquisitions. The thing with Nick Hundley, hey, he brings all of the intangibles about like being a manager, right? Deep roots, cultural alignment. Spent 7 seasons with the Padres, longer than with any other franchise. Professional identity was forged in San Diego system where he learned leadership, work ethic, all that stuff. I mean, all the words that you want to hear in a potential manager. While Hundley is admired in San Francisco, his connection there is brief, just 2 losing seasons. His heart and home remain in San Diego, where he currently lives and works remotely for the Rangers. He's a guy that understands the Padres culture and fan base, having experienced both the struggles and aspirations of the franchise firsthand. As San Diego searches for a new manager who can stabilize the clubhouse and sustain recent postseason momentum, Hundley's credibility with players and fans would give him an immediate foundation. He's got familiarity with the Padres' leadership and vision. Padres general manager A.J. Preller values communication, player development, adaptability, all areas where Hundley excels. His front office experience would make him a natural collaborator with Preller, bridging the gap between the clubhouse and upper management. San Diego's leadership model encourages managerial input and autonomy, allowing Hundley to apply both his analytical understanding from his front office roles and his player empathy from years as a catcher. In contrast, the Giants front office under Farhan Zaidi and Buster Posey operates more hierarchy and data-driven, which might limit Hundley's ability to shape culture and strategy directly. So that was something that would make this job more enticing than what could have been the Giants' job. A big reason why Hundley's a finalist for this one. Hundley's home and family life rooted here in Southern California. His daughter's medical needs and his community commitments are based. A Padres role would allow him to manage without uprooting his family, something that's important to him that previously caused him to decline the Giants 2022 interview and then eventually the Giants 2025 job. He's got the right roster for his leadership style. Features stars like Fernando, Manny, Yu Darvish. They need a manager who can unify personalities, reinforce accountability. Hundley's reputation as a servant leader who prioritizes humility and teamwork makes him ideal for managing a talented but sometimes volatile roster. Managing the Padres would represent a homecoming and a chance to help deliver what he couldn't as a player, San Diego's first World Series title. His long tenure with the team, combined with organizational's upward trajectory, offers him a unique opportunity to cement his legacy where his career began. All very good takes, right? Like all very good qualities in a manager, all very good. Yeah, it's nice, it's fluffy, it's fun. Like, but to me, Frank, after going through all the intangibles that make Nick Hundley a good manager, I just don't feel like he's what the Padres need right now.
No, and I believe we talked about this yesterday, is that there are guys that would be good fits as manager of this team. Hundley being one of them, Flaherty being another. Just not right now. Just not at this point in the franchise's trajectory. That's not what this team needs right at this moment. If you would have told me that Nick Hundley was going to get the job instead of Jace Tingler, I'm down for that. If he was going to get the job instead of Bob Melvin, you know what? Okay, I'm down. I'm okay with that. I'm good with it. If he gets the job 10 years down the line, okay, great. Fine. Just not right now.
I don't think the timing is right now
Exactly
for this Padres team. I really don't. I think Nick Hundley would be a great manager. I really do. I mean, you could lay out all of those visions and everything like that. This, to me, like the Nick Hundley, this should have been the Jace Tingler hire, as you mentioned. That team could have used Nick Hundley. Like, that's the time you hire Nick Hundley. A young team trying to learn how to play, Padres baseball, if you will, or even like the Andy Green era of Padres baseball. Those are the years that, like, you hire a guy like Nick Hundley. Right now, with the stars that they have, the money they've spent, and the way that the Padres have had, success but yet failures in the playoffs, to me, like, this is the time where you hire an Albert Pujols or you stay consistent with Ruben Niebla, since you did make the playoffs in back-to-back seasons for, like, the second time ever. Like, that, to me, that's where I think you need to go. I think Nick Hundley would be a great manager. I just don't think now is the time for him to be the Padres manager, Frank.
No, it is a great idea. It is a great thought. He's going to work somewhere. Just not here right now.
I don't think so either. But after all three of those, like the three finalists with Pujols and Hundley and Niebla, I think you can not reason or justify, but to me, I think you can. I think you're in a good spot with all three of those managers. But if I had to pick between the three, depending on what the situation is with Ruben Niebla as the pitching coach, if you take Pujols, I like those two over Nick Hundley at this particular time.
Yes, I agree 100%.
But that's, I think he'd bring a good manager. I just don't think right now is the time.
And as Go Aztecs in the chat rightly points out, he does not have a Boston accent to outdo any of his losses.
Hey, Birdland.
Good one for the Orioles. What do you guys think? 833-288-0973, 833-288-0973. When we come back, we'll hit your phone calls on if Nick Hundley is the right choice for the Padres manager. Any updates about the Padres managerial search, we will pass along as we continue on the Braden Surprenant Show, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. This hour, 9-7 to the fans, brought to you by Toyota Poway, voted San Diego's #1 Toyota dealer by USA Today, with APRs as low as 0% and tons of new Toyotas on the ground. No tricks, only treats during the Trucktober sales event happening now only at Toyota Poway or online at toyotapoway.com in the heart of San Diego. He's Frank Marchese. I'm Braden Surprenant. This is the Braden Surprenant Show, talking about Padres managerial search a little bit. Gave the case for Nick Hundley in the last segment. What do you guys think? 833-288-1973, 833-288-1973. It's got Kevin in Chula Vista on the Braden Surprenant Show. Kevin, what's going on?
Yeah, hey, Bray. Hey, a couple things here real quick. You know, I had always thought, and we were led to believe, that the most important attribute for a manager for the Padres was to be able to get along with AJ. And we've not heard that as being the top attribute anymore. So what happened here? I'm a little bit confused on that account. Secondly, I find it highly irregular that this franchise still has yet to make a decision on what they're going to do with AJ, yet we've got a managerial search going on. This is problematic in at least in my point of view. And I don't get it. Maybe Bruckner's going to be the one that makes the decision this time. I mean, it leads to all sorts of unnecessary distraction and mystery. And I wish this front office would really get their act together in this one.
Yeah, we don't really know anything about the AJ Preller thing, right, Frank?
Yeah, no, we
crickets on the contract extension, potentially. That's an interesting deal. Now, the other thing, too, is Kevin brought it up. I mean, that was a major concern about, making sure you can get along with AJ Preller. Maybe that's what the 9.5 hours was for Albert Pujols, Frank.
How long could you stand to be in a room with this guy?
Yeah, he tapped out at 9.5 hours. I mean, that's also part of the conversation. Assuming like all of that plays out, and these are candidates that would get along with AJ Preller, and we'll see what the hiring is like. To me, I like the intangibles of Albert Pujols the most. But again, if he can't deal with AJ Preller, who a lot of people really can't deal with, then it's going to be a disaster of a hire. Don't you find it odd that they haven't, like, I mean, they talked about him potentially getting a contract extension. It was in a matter of whatever, and nothing.
Yeah, that is, yeah, the last we heard, a contract extension was more or less imminent for AJ Preller, and that's completely died off. But to be fair to the Padres on that front, they have not leaked a word about anything over these last couple of weeks. The only thing that we've heard is Albert Pujols. We had no idea that Nick Hundley was even interviewed until he was announced as a finalist for the job. So they have been very, very tight-lipped down at Petco Park. So maybe it could be a combined press conference. We're announcing a manager and an extension for AJ Preller. Who knows?
That could be highly likely too. Like they could give him the extension and then in the report be like, oh, also AJ Preller is signed on now through 2030. Well, whatever it is. I could totally see that. So that could be in play. I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case. We've seen that in press conferences before, or should I say press releases. But it's been all quiet on the Western Front today, a day that we thought was going to be a day that they end up hiring a manager, or maybe you get a leaked information from a Kevin Acee or a Dennis Lin or an AJ Cassaville about the Padres hiring somebody. Haven't really heard anything today.
And who knows? Maybe it does come tomorrow. I understand Game 6 is tomorrow. I understand the baseball season could come to an end tomorrow, but the Minnesota Twins didn't have a problem announcing or having leaked a manager during the game last night. So I don't see why it can't be tomorrow.
I like Go Aztecs' comment right there on the Western Metal Front.
Yes.
If I say all quiet on the Western Front, if it involves the Padres, I'm going to start dropping that. I'm going to use that term.
There you go.
And credit Go Aztecs for that on the Western Metal Front. Anybody read that book in high school? All Quiet on the Western Front?
Nope.
No. Anybody read? No. Let's get out to Chuck in La Mesa. Chuck, what's going on, man?
It's Wednesday.
How you doing?
Hi, what's going on?
Hey, I want to say something to you. See you later. My neighbor's here with me. If Albert Pujols and our pitching coach were together, they'd be the most awesome team ever. Here's what you get. You get the guy. What was Albert Pujols' average batting order when he played in NBA or National Baseball League?
His average batting his career batting average in MLB.
Yes.
It was in the high 200. I was like, I know. Did he hit 300? He might have hit 300. I gotta double check. But anyway, yeah. What was it? That was the. What is Chuck saying? Him combined with
Niebla
would be a good comment.
296. He
296.
Just missed it.
Close to 300. There's other people that are like, well, he should be the hitting coach and not the manager. Like, it doesn't work like that. A lot of the time, it doesn't work like that. Appreciate the phone call, Chuck. Ryan said he's late to the party. Work took the best of me today. Did I read Pujols spent 9 freaking hours at the Padres? 9.5, actually. He got that extra half hour. Don't discredit him that extra half hour.
And don't you dare forget about those extra 22 seconds.
How many times did he DH in his career for the Cardinals? Like with La Russa managing. Like how many times was he in there like listening to La Russa? I mean, he played for a pretty big time coach over there.
Yeah.
But everybody always wants to get him on the, he had Mike Trout and Shohei Ohtani. Didn't do anything.
It's interesting. Baseball Reference doesn't do that. They don't do like a game-by-game positional breakdown. They tell you what positions they played over the... Oh, wait, never mind.
He does. They do. He just go digging sometimes.
He DH'd 641 times in his career, which is...
Most of it with Anaheim? Oh, here it is.
Yeah, most of it with Anaheim.
All right. Never mind then. 17 years as DH.
2026 games started at first base. This man has started games in St. Louis, by the way, Started a game at second base and a game at third. At short, sorry.
He played a game at short, didn't start there. He played 2 innings at shortstop in his career. What year was that?
2002 is his sophomore year.
When he was 22 years old, he played 2 innings at shortstop.
His freshman year, he played 42 games at first, 55 games at third, and 39 games split between 39 games in left and 39 games in right.
Wow. How about it?
He is literally 1 game as a catcher and 1 game away as a center fielder from having played every single position.
He should be a player's coach, reactivate himself, and then go play those positions.
Yeah, just 2 games. I'm in, I'm out. Done.
Especially when they play the Orioles. Go full circle.
Hey, Birdland.
Hey, Birdland. Love it. When we come back, if we get any information on the managerial search, we will get to it. But we talked about USD basketball with Steve Lavin last week and broke down their exhibition game last night against San Diego State. We talked about San Diego State last night and with David Velasquez from a couple of days ago. We haven't talked about the other school in town, the newest D1 school from a couple of years ago, UCSD. They went to the NCAA tournament last year. Their head coach, Eric Olin, has moved on to New Mexico, and now it's Clint Allard as the new UCSD men's basketball head coach, a former Triton himself, Triton for life, trying to lead his alma mater to continue to do well in the Big West. He will join us next on the Braden Surprenant Show, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97 through the Fan. All guests on 97 to the Fan join us on the David P. Shapiro Fan Hotline. David P. Shapiro, criminal defense attorneys helping good people regain control of their future when charged with a crime since 2010. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com. He's Frank Marchese. I'm Braden Surprenant. This is the Braden Surprenant Show. And now joining me for the first time on the show, college basketball coach here in town at the University of California, San Diego, at UCSD, his alma mater, where he was a 2007, 2008 All-CCAA second team honoree, had a great career playing for the Tritons, stayed at UCSD, coached for the Tritons, spent a little bit of time coaching at Cal Poly Pomona, came back as an assistant coach, was the associate head coach since 2014, giving an opportunity to be the head coach now of a Division I basketball program that's coming off an NCAA tournament appearance. His name is Clint Allard. He joins me on the Braden Surprenant Show. Clint, what's going on? How's your Thursday going?
It's going great, Braden. Thanks for having me. You're flashing all the way back to my playing career. I liked it, but no, I appreciate you having me on. Happy to be joining you.
Yeah, it's great to be talking with, all the coaches in town. We had Steve Lavitt on last week. We had Dave Velasquez from San Diego State on earlier this week. And, now to do the full rounds of the other Division I basketball program that has had a lot of success in recent years, a more recent D1 program. It's great to have you on the show to talk a little bit about UCSD, but also yourself and introducing yourself, now as the head coach of this program. You grew up in San Jose. You went to Archbishop Mitty High School. You decided to go to UCSD, come on down to America's finest city for your college career. What was that like? What was the process like? And go ahead. Take us through a little bit of memory lane of being a player at UCSD.
Sure. No, I appreciate it. Yeah, I was not exactly a highly sought after recruit or anything like that, but UC San Diego checked a lot of boxes for me as far as great academic reputation and somewhere I could continue my basketball career. And so, yeah, we were Division II at the time. When I got there, I redshirted actually my first year, 2003, 2004, and then played 2004, 2008. So got to play for a few different coaches, which is good for me, kind of learning from different people through my coaching career. My redshirt year was under a guy named Coach Greg Lanthier. And then I played 3 years for Bill Carr, who actually happens to be our general manager now. So that's kind of been a cool full circle moment. And then my senior year, I played for Chris Carlson, who's now working in athletics at UCLA. So had a great experience, really close with a lot of the guys that I played with over that era. And I've been in a unique spot where I can kind of see where we've come from in those early 2000s to now, and UC San Diego athletics, and especially our basketball program, have really come a long way.
Yeah, and since graduating from UCSD, you joined the staff right after, been assistant since 2008. You spent a little bit of time at Cal Poly Pomona, but came back to your alma mater and have been there, from 2014 on to now. You got to work with Eric Olin, who has now, departed to go to New Mexico. But, as much as Eric Olin gets a lot of credit for helping that program get to the D1 level, you were on all those staffs. I mean, what was the transition period like for you guys? I mean, that's got to be cool for you as an alumni to help your school become D1 and accomplish everything that they've already accomplished.
Yeah, it's been a great journey, and I definitely don't take it for granted. Like you mentioned, it's always we really built something here, coming from Division II to Division I. That transition definitely was not easy. Those kind of 4 years of not being able to play in the postseason are not easy years. But we got better all the time, and we kind of kept the upward trajectory. And obviously last year paid off with a lot of success, with a great group and something like kind of got to a point probably a little faster than even Eric and I were expecting in our high aspirations of what UC San Diego could become. So it's been a really rewarding journey, and it's been good to be here since, like you mentioned, kind of when I returned in 2014 as the associate head coach to kind of build this thing along with Eric. And I definitely felt like I was a big part and invested in our success.
We're talking with Clint Allard, who is the head coach of UCSD men's basketball, that will get underway next week, like everybody else in college basketball, right around the corner. Should be a fun time for the Tritons over there at Lion Tree Arena. Let's talk about it for coaching at your school. and I do that at the high school level. I coach at my alma mater right now. I coach football. And sometimes you got to go somewhere else to kind of learn a little bit more and kind of have that, well-rounded viewpoint as a coach, because sometimes you get into a rut of just like, this is how UCSD does it. But you spent some time at Cal Poly Pomona for a couple of years. What was that experience like for you? What did you learn from that experience that has helped you as a coach?
Oh yeah, those were a great 2 years. Cal Poly Pomona has been a really good Division II program. So the guy I worked for there, Greg Kamansky, kind of also a connection. He actually is a UCSD basketball alum. And he's won a national championship, had a national championship runner-up at Cal Poly Pomona. And they're really known for their kind of matchup zone defense. And so I learned a ton from him, one of the best defenses in the country. And I took a lot of those things over. And then, when we kind of made the Division I jump and Eric kind of asked me to take over as the defensive coordinator for our program. All the experience I had at Cal Poly Pomona was huge, and we installed some of these things and made it work for our program. And but yeah, so exactly like you mentioned, you want to learn from some different people. That was a great 2 years to learn from somebody else and see how he did things. And obviously, I learned a lot on the court from, like I mentioned, with the defense, but just how he interacted with players and everything like that was a really great time I took out of it, and I still talk to Coach Kamansky a lot.
We're talking with Clint Allard, the head coach of UCSD, about to start his first year as the head coach of his alma mater. So last year you guys had a great year. You win the Big West tournament, gets you in the NCAA tournament, a great opportunity for the program, obviously, to achieve that feat in the first year eligible to make the NCAA tournament. Eric Olin ends up getting a job at New Mexico, and now, what you built is still there. Was there any, and in this day and age of college basketball and college sports, a lot of the staffs go with the head coach that go to New Mexico. What was that process like for you? And, were you ever thinking about going to New Mexico with Coach Olin? I don't know if that was an opportunity, or is it always like, I want this job, I want to be able to coach for my alma mater? What was that process like and getting this head coaching job?
Yeah, it happened really quick when it happened. So Eric got that job, and within an hour, the athletic director was on the phone with me, kind of offering the position. So I felt obviously very honored that they were kind of prepared and ready, and thought if this eventuality came, that I was the guy for the job. So we didn't even really go down the road of would I go kind of New Mexico and everything like that. Obviously, working for Eric for a lot of years was something that was a great experience. He's a huge mentor to me, and he's why I definitely feel like I'm prepared for the position and taking over. But yeah, it was, like I said, I was lucky enough to have the confidence of the administration, and it moved really fast, and I'm glad it did, because we had a lot of work to do in front of us.
So a lot of things that have now changed, right? I mean, rosters turn over like crazy when coaches move, and also when you have success, and, being a mid-major program that's also has its own challenges. But, based on what you guys did in the portal and recruiting, getting ready for this season, what are some of the highlights and things you're excited for this year?
Well, yeah, you mentioned it. It's an interesting time to take over with everything that's going on in NCAA with transferring and NIL and all these kind of things. So there's a lot of changes, and there were some changes in our program, like you mentioned, as a mid-major, but really excited for the group that we have coming in. We have a lot of guys that, like you mentioned, signed up for being what UC San Diego is about, and kind of unselfish people, team first people. And that includes the players and the coaches that have kind of newly joined us. So it's definitely different from what it's been in the past, of that we just have a lot to teach. We don't have the kind of returning institutional knowledge that we've had, and we're going to continue to teach even as we get into games here and continue to strive for our best basketball. But we got the right people in the building for sure, the people that want to be their best and kind of strive for greatness. And so I'm really excited for the journey of this group.
Obviously, a lot of new faces on this team. And what are some of the players that Tritons fans should be looking out for? Other people in San Diego that, love college basketball and want to see the Tritons for the first time. Who are some of the players to watch out for here in 2025, 2026?
Yeah, for sure. So, we encourage, we have a great game day atmosphere, and we got some home games coming up. So encourage everybody to come see us. Aiden Burke is kind of the one returner that was rotational last year. That's coming back. Really good shooter, does everything right. He's going to kind of be in the rotation there. For anybody that was saw kind of Big West basketball last year, we have a transfer from University of Hawaii, Tom Beatty, who's really smart, picks up things really quick, brings us some leadership at the guard position. Leo Beef is somebody that's really impressed me early on in the kind of summer and fall here. He's a transfer from Lynn University in Florida, Division II program. 6'8", really skilled, kind of can play the perimeter, can attack mismatches. He's just a matchup problem in general, and he's just got a consistency of his effort, and he's always striving to get better. He's a little bit of a late developer, and he's still kind of reaching his best basketball. And then Bull Danged It, transfer from University of Portland, 6'11", a little bigger than some of the guys that we've had kind of in our program, but he still has the mobility of really moving his feet and being able to switch and guard different guys, stretches the floor from kind of the 5 position for us, good passer, really kind of fits our system of the skill level at the size position. So I think those are some guys that fans should be focused on and be excited to see early in the season here.
Got a lot of good games coming up. Laverne on Monday. Everybody, the other 2 teams in town will open up on Tuesday. You guys get a little early jump start on Monday at 7 o'clock at Lion Tree Arena against Laverne. Houston Christian will come the following Saturday at Fresno State, and then back at home to take on Idaho, playing in a tournament. Schedule looks pretty good. But when it comes to conference play, Big West has been, pretty solid near the top with you guys and Irvine. UC Riverside's done a fairly good job. Fullerton every once in a while, but should be a fun, competitive league yet once again. I'd expect UC Santa Barbara to probably bounce back from a more downer year from last year. But this is, last year, the Big West Conference for you guys. So tell us the challenges of the Big West before what might be the new upcoming challenges of the West Coast Conference the next couple of years.
Yeah, well, we actually have 2 years remaining in the Big West. So it's this year and next year, and then 2027 we're going to be joining the WTC. Big West basketball has been at the heights that it's highest it's been kind of in all history, I think. I mean, last year I think it was the 12th ranked league in the nation. So it's really good basketball. And us and UC Irvine have had a little bit of a rivalry the last couple of years, finishing first and second, and I anticipate them to be at the top as well. They're just so kind of consistent, and UC Santa Barbara has a ton of talent. They bring in some high-level transfers from UConn and Utah, kind of man in the backcourt there for them, and they're going to have a lot of talent, and they're going to be a challenge for sure. And then University of Hawaii, I think they really like that group. I think they got picked 3rd in the preseason standings and brought in a lot of veteran players. I know they'll be a challenge for us as well. Big West basketball is really good. I know Northridge is up and coming and has had some really good season last year that they're looking to build off of. Cal Poly's got a new coach now going into his 2nd year, and he's got a really good identity of run and gun kind of style, and they play a up-paced tempo and has really brought some identity, and I think they're going to continue to move up. So there's a lot of good programs in our league, and it's a competitive game every night in the Big West.
Should be a fun time. 2 more years of the Big West. I do want to ask about because the West Coast Conference news kind of surprised a lot of people, and that came out. When did you first get wind of this? And what were some of the excitement and the reasoning behind UCSD wanting to join the West Coast Conference, and what that's going to be about with the conference foe just down the street in town in San Diego?
Yeah, that'll be a real natural rival, which I think both programs really are looking forward to. And in general, I think I first got wind that kind of the chancellor came to me that it was going to be a possibility, and got my thoughts a little before the decision was made. And then when it came out, I was just excited. I think West Coast Conference has had a tremendous history, obviously, and has some really good programs. And it's going to be a challenge for us, and we're definitely going to have to continue to raise our our level to compete. But we're looking forward to the challenge.
Should be a fun season, Coach. Thanks again for the time. Look forward to talking to you again as the season rolls on. First game is against Laverne on Monday, Lion Tree Arena, 7 o'clock. If you want to get your tickets, go to ucsdtritons.com. Coach, appreciate the time.
All right. Thank you so much for having me.
Clint Allard, the head coach of the UCSD Tritons men's basketball team, as he takes over in his first year for Eric Olin, who is now at the University of New Mexico. We have 3 D1 basketball programs in town, Frank. And in 2 years, and in 2 years, 2 of them are going to be in the same conference, which is going to be fun.
Yes. Very, very fun.
UCSD played an exhibition against Cal State San Marcos, won 74-72 in overtime in their exhibition.
You're on overtime in exhibition games?
Hey, man. You got to try out overtime. See what overtime's about. Laverne on a Monday, Houston Christian on November 8th on a Saturday. They go to Fresno State. They got Idaho at home. They're playing in the Terry's Chocolate ESPN Events Invitational. That's a mouthful. They got Temple at 1:30 on November 24th, a Monday, on ESPNU. That's pretty cool. We'll have a couple more games in that particular invitational, Nevada, and then right around the time of December, they will start getting into conference play mixed with some other non-con. They will host San Diego, the USD, on December 19th, which will be a 7 o'clock tip. I might be at that game. So there you go, Frank. We should probably we got to get you a credential for that one.
Yes, absolutely. 100%.
Some of these local deals. They go to LMU for a little bit. So already a little bit of the SoCal teams of the West Coast Conference. The Big West is good. Big West is good basketball. Irvine's been legit the last handful of years. But they've had some good stuff. 833-288-0973, 833-288-0973. Martin and Santee on the Braden Surprenant Show to finish up the noon hour. What's going on, Martin?
Gentlemen, what a week to be on the radio.
Yes.
I just want to share, the passion, the diversity, the interest. Frank, you're bringing it as well. It's a joy to watch and to listen to. And again, the diversity of opinion and how you bring it each and every day. Again, a lot going on this week. The managerial stuff, it's going to happen. Whether it's pool hosts, Niebla, we're going to be in good shape. But I just want to say, I always appreciate what you bring to each sports day from high school. And also, too, the interview skills. Dude, you cover it all, and it is much appreciated that San Diego is making, is being made aware of what is out there on the sports scene, from high school to college to professional to soccer. Frank, thank you for your contribution on the soccer side. So anyway, guys, just always good stuff, always entertaining, always fun. And there's a lot going on right now, and you guys are just killing it. So appreciate it. So take care of my nephews, and we'll talk soon.
I appreciate it, Martin.
Thanks, Uncle Martin.
He always calls in the right time. It's right for the end of a hour break. Talks up the show. That's what makes this show fun, too. It's like we have all the sports covered. It's obviously like baseball and college football and the NFL and up my alley. And then you even get some NASCAR coverage with Frank. Guy's been watching every hockey game that's ever happened in the last 3 years on TV during every show. He's got, gives us the full lowdown on the soccer. And we'll have Drake Hills on tomorrow.
Yes.
I'm talking to Drake Hills' class tomorrow.
Oh, wow.
Wish me luck on that.
Nice.
It'll be on Zoom, though, because it's at 9 in the morning.
Yes.
To make it, driving to San Diego State doesn't sound like that fun right now in the morning. Last night it was tough because, where I was parking last night for the game, school's in session. Night class was going on. And so they're asking everybody, are you here for class or the Aztec game? Do I look like I'm here for class? Wearing a USD polo? Probably not. Skylar's going to join us next. Get our college football picks with Skylar. I still got to put together what games we're picking. We'll see if I can get that done in 5 minutes. 1 o'clock hour when we come back. 1 o'clock on a Thursday. That can only mean one thing. The queen of college football is back. Skylar joins us in the 1 o'clock hour. All guests on 97 to the Fan. Join us on the David P. Shapiro Fan Hotline. David P. Shapiro, criminal defense attorneys helping good people regain control of their future when charged with a crime since 2010. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com. Good to have Skylar back with us. A lot of you are her biggest fan. The biggest fan
see her.
Contest.
I don't know what in the world is going on with that.
I can see her.
It's really blurry.
I can see myself.
Turn your mic on. There it is.
There we go. Now it's
the
better.
boxes are a little off.
I know.
I'm
They've always
leaking
been a
out of
little
the
off.
box. Anyway, a lot of you are the biggest fan of Skylar. The biggest fan contest returns on Monday, November 3rd. Our grand prize is a night in the Odyssey Suite with 20 tickets for you and your friends to watch a future Padres game with the whole fan staff. Register your name at 97throughthefansd.com/biggest fan and listen when we announce names each day at 9 a.m., 1 p.m., and 5:30 for your chance to qualify. Maybe Skylar will be there. Maybe she will not.
Am
Never
I
know.
invited?
I
I'll
don't know.
totally come. That sounds like a fun time.
Yeah.
Or I can register. I'm probably not allowed to.
You cannot register. I don't think you can. Not when you work for the company.
I'll just crash. I'll just be knocking on the door and someone will have to let me in.
Yes. You're already in that suite more times than not anyway. She knows the secret knock to that particular suite at Petco Park. Let's talk about the games this weekend. A lot of great games in college football. Skylar said there's a lot in the SEC. There's a lot in the group of 6, too. We might have some games that we're not used to picking on this week's college football picks with Skylar.
Where in the world did you write them down?
In the 1 o'clock hour.
Oh, there they are. Okay,
where it says college football picks with
The
Skylar.
thing didn't update. Relax.
Kind of the same spot we always put them, Frank.
It didn't update. I only saw the top 2 games on there. Relax, will you? Jeez.
Oh, my God.
It's our betting.
That's the wrong
My bad.
betting music.
It's our betting. Sorry.
By the way, I have to. They make Big Red do everything now. They have a marching band graphic with Big Red playing a tuba, Frank. You got to take a look at this. You got to take a peek. Big Red playing the tuba. It's amazing. What won't West Kentucky do? Isn't that great, Skylar?
Who doesn't want
That's
to?
pretty good. That's pretty good.
Big Red playing a tuba.
Who doesn't want a nice tuba red?
Tuba Red. All right.
All right.
Let's get to the first. There's a lot of good 9 a.m. games to start off the weekend.
There are, and apparently
there's one that was supposed to be a really good game that's not. I have to say, sorry, before we start.
Did you see? Are you referencing the tweet that I'm thinking?
Was it the tweet of like cancel all your plans? Yeah.
Yes.
Because like a month and a half ago, this weekend was going to be even better than it already was. It was going to be number 1 Ohio State and number 2 Penn State, and now it's not. We're not even picking that game because it's a 20.5-point favorite for Ohio State. But it had all these games. It said, "Don't go to a fall wedding. Cancel your plans. Watch college football," and I think none of those games are as exciting as they were laid out to be. Like Texas Tech, Kansas State, we are picking that game, but for other reasons. Anyway, a little bit different of a schedule this weekend. Still a lot of good games. Starting in the 9 a.m. hour, Vanderbilt and Texas.
Who's running this show here?
Well, you're writing stuff down, so I was getting things going for you. I was stalling until you were ready.
Brother,
Vanderbilt, Texas. Frank, you get the pick first.
And speak at the
Vanderbilt
same time
and Texas.
Here.
The Longhorns are favored by 3.5. Francis, what do you got?
I cannot all in good conscience pick Texas. We're going Vandy.
I think Vandy loses this one.
Of course you do.
I do. I think Texas wins.
You just hate Diego Pavia.
I don't like Diego Pavia. I think he's kind of much. He also shouldn't be playing anymore. The guy's like 38 years old. He's not 38, but that's the joke. This is a game where like Texas is just still hanging on to being a ranked team, and then they're going to beat Vanderbilt at home by like 6 points, and everybody's like, "Look, Texas is back. Look, they're a top 15 team." That's how this plays out. I got Texas. I hope they lose, but I'll take Texas.
Skylar?
Yeah, I mean, I'm with Braden. I don't like Diego Pavia either, but I do think Vanderbilt is the type of team that could go on the road and upset Texas at home. I think it's going to be a super, super close game, and it's a total toss-up for me. But I think Texas has been able to like squeak out a couple wins, and I think they'll be able to squeak it out here. So I think Texas at home for sure.
Game number 2, now that we're getting back in order. Number 10, Miami, 6-1 on the road, favored against SMU, who are 5-3. Miami's favored by 11.5. Braden.
Saturday is November 1st, correct?
Correct.
Allegedly.
November 1st. It's the beginning of the month of November. And guess what? This is the first time Miami leaves the state of Florida all year. They've been in Miami or playing road games in Florida all season long. It's the first time they have to leave the state of Florida. I'm going to take the Mustangs at home, plus 11.5. I think SMU beats Miami.
Wow.
Skylar?
I cannot see that happening. I could see if you said that they'll keep it close, but I can't personally see SMU beating Miami. I think Miami's looking really good. I think, yeah, the travel might take it on like a little bit out of them, but I don't think it's going to be enough to make a difference. I think Miami's going to win here.
I'll take SMU to cover. I'll
plus 11.5.
Yeah, I think SMU's not going to win this game, but I think they're going to keep it close, especially if Sid the Sloth has a game like he had a couple weeks ago. Army Black Knights, the Air Force Falcons, Skylar. Air Force favored by 1.5.
All right, I'm going to just do a Hail Mary here. I'm a pilot. I'm going with Air Force.
Wow.
Right.
Army this year has lost. How about Army, by the way? Army lost to Tarleton State to start the season, and then they went to Kansas State and beat the Wildcats.
As you do.
And then they played North Texas and lost, who's a good team, close. Lost to East Carolina, have won 2 of the last 3, only lost to Tulane by a touchdown last week down in New Orleans. As for Air Force, they've been on a little bit of the struggle bus. They beat Wyoming last week, 24-21. They lost to Navy, but it was by 3 points, and every one of their games has been very close. With that, I'm going to go with Air Force. I think the Falcons beat Army, even though it's better for us, Frank, if Army beats Air Force, and then the Army-Navy game is for the Commander-in-Chief trophy.
Yes.
Straight up. That makes those games a little bit more fun. Than a 3-way tie.
I'm going to go with Air Force as well. I mean, both of them are option teams, so you're not really confusing anyone there. I'm going to take Air Force here. Speaking of the military academies, we're going to be picking the other one as well, and this is a very good matchup. 7-0 Navy at 7-1 North Texas. North Texas favored by 6.5 at home, Braden.
North Texas is playing really good football. The story of their quarterback's pretty wild too. Did you see the story of their quarterback?
No.
Quarterback never started a game in high school. Walked on at North Texas.
Yes, I have seen.
Has North Texas competing to potentially be a American champion, but also a college football playoff team. They've been legit. They hammered Washington State 59-10. They beat up on Army already this season. Their only loss is to ranked South Florida at the time. They've looked pretty good. They're coming off of 2 huge wins against UTSA and Charlotte. Navy is kind of, they've done okay, but they haven't had like a signature win yet, even though they're 7-0 and 5-0. That game will be on our airwaves, if I'm not mistaken, as
I believe so,
affiliate of Navy football. But Navy has not beat the same teams that UNT has, and UNT's at home. I'm going with Mean Green.
Skylar?
UNT surprises me every single week. I feel like I always kind of underestimate them. I know we've picked them. I'm not sure we've picked them this year, but I know in previous years we've talked about them. I've gone against them every single time, and I've been wrong every single time. So I feel like I just can't go against them. I think that they're going to surprise us all again. I think they're having a strong season, so I've got to go with North Texas.
Skylar wanted her wanted posters off of the walls of Denton, Texas.
I know. They're like, this girl just needs to figure it out already.
I'm going to go with North Texas as well. I think they are going to overpower Navy. Arizona State taking on Iowa State. Iowa State favored by 7.5 at home. I have texted Sam Levitt asking him how his foot is. He's not playing this week. He has not gotten back to me. Skylar,
wait,
who do you got?
You said Arizona State?
Yes, Arizona State,
Yeah.
Iowa State.
Arizona State doesn't have their quarterback
Yeah.
on the road in Ames, Iowa, 7.5-point dogs.
Yeah, I mean, I was excited for Arizona State. I thought they were like really getting some momentum. I think that momentum kind of halted. So I think I've got to go Iowa State.
Iowa State has lost 3 games in a row. They started the season 5-0. They lost to Cincinnati, who's ranked now 38-30. They lost to Colorado on the road, who is not good at all. And then they just played BYU at home and got trounced. But again, BYU ranked 11th at the time of the game. They're a very overrated team, Iowa State. Arizona State is Jekyll and Hyde. They'll have great games where they, beat TCU on a Friday night, and then they'll go play Utah and get smoked 42-10. They didn't have Sam Levitt for that game against the Utah Utes. Then they played Texas Tech. They beat Texas Tech at home. They beat Texas Tech and TCU at home. On the road, have struggled. And in games without Sam Levitt, they're not nearly as good. The fact that they don't have Sam Levitt, I think it's going to be tough for Arizona State to win on the road at Iowa State. I'll take the Cyclones. It's a lot of points to cover, but I think that, you know what? Iowa State wins, Arizona State covers. I think Iowa State wins by a field goal. Iowa State has not been very good. And I know they don't have Sam Levitt, but
You just changed your mind like mid.
I know I did, because 7.5 for Iowa State seems like a lot. I think Arizona State covers, but they don't win. I think Iowa State wins a close one in Ames.
Coming up next, Braden, it'll be Texas Tech at Kansas.
Who did you take? Iowa State?
Yes, Iowa State. Texas Tech, number 13, 7-1. They are 7.5-point favorites against the Kansas State Wildcats, who are 4-4. Who do you got?
Red Raiders are definitely way better than Kansas State is. That's how I'm starting this conversation. But at the same time,
that being said, we saw last
K-State
week
at home is good, except for when Army comes to town, apparently. K-State's a different team. They've won 3 out of the last 4 games. They're coming off of 2 back-to-back really impressive victories, putting up a lot of points. Texas Tech, I think, became vulnerable after they lost to Arizona State. They had basically a bye week last week against Oklahoma State, who's terrible. I think this game might be closer than people think. What's the spread? 7.5 for Tech?
7.5 Tech.
I'm going to take Kansas State. I'm going to take Kansas State plus 7.5. I think Tech can still win, but I think Kansas State's going to keep it close. The Big 12 is just wide open right now, and the parity in the Big 12 is fun to watch. Kansas State's found a new lease on life, and we'll see how they bounce back. But Tech's definitely the best team in the conference, bar none.
Skylar?
Yeah, I agree. I think Texas Tech is looking really, really good, but I think this is going to be a tougher game for them. I think they're going into a hostile environment, and K-State has been doing really well at home, so I'm also going to go with K-State.
I am going to go with Texas Tech here. Skylar, first pick for you here. The Fresno State Bulldogs in Boise against the Broncos. Broncos are 6-2
Smurf turf
on the year. 17.5 point favorites are the Broncos. This will be another 12:30 start on FS1.
Oh, that's hard because that's a pretty big spread. And I think the Broncos aren't what they have been, but I'm also not overly impressed with Fresno State. So I'm torn because that's a pretty big spread.
That's why the spread is that level.
I think I'll go ahead and I'll take Boise.
You're right on the spread. What I saw out of Fresno State last week was rough. And Boise beat UNLV by 25 at home. And UNLV at that point was undefeated. And UNLV is better than Fresno. I'll take Boise minus 17.5.
I'm going to take Fresno State. I don't pick against big spreads like that.
Fresno State looked bad last
I know
week.
they did. Oklahoma Sooners 6-2 against the number 14 Tennessee Volunteers, also 6-2. Vols favored by 3.5 points at Neyland. This will be a 4:30 start on ABC. Also, best of luck to Smokey 10, who just got diagnosed with cancer.
I know that's sad news.
The real dog, not the
plush mascot. Heupel going against his alma mater. It's a tough place to play at Neyland Stadium. They're favored by 3.5. I said it's great to be a Tennessee Volunteer. I'll take the Volunteers.
I think they're doing their Halloween night.
Yeah, they do their smoky
costumes.
Their smoky uniforms.
Yeah, I think
I'll take the
the
Vols.
environment has Tennessee on top for sure, but Oklahoma has a really tough stretch. They're going to Tennessee.
Yeah, they're host.
Then I think they're going to Alabama. And then they've got Mizzou and LSU. So I feel like they are just in for an uphill battle these last few weeks of college football. So I think this is kind of where you'll see Oklahoma maybe start to fall off a little bit. And
I think so too.
Tennessee for sure.
Go Vols.
Skylar, your last first pick. 5-2 USC at Nebraska, who are 6-2 to take on the Corn Huskers. Trojans favored by 6.5.
I think USC is the more dominant team here, but they've been kind of up and down this season, a little bit unpredictable. Did you say they're at home for this?
No, they're in Nebraska.
Yeah, that kind of plays into. I think I'm going to go ahead and take USC. I feel like Nebraska is just a little bit less impressive to me, so I'm going to go USC.
Huskers just gave Matt Rule a contract extension today.
That's cool.
Yeah. Last time he got a contract extension like that, he left Baylor and went to the Panthers 3 months later.
As you do.
Maybe he's going to the NFL. I don't know. SC has not been good on the road. They beat Purdue on the road, and that's it. And then all they do is bitch and moan about like how they have to travel in this new conference. Nebraska's a tough place to play. I think Nebraska makes it close. I'll take Nebraska plus 6.5. I think USC ends up winning.
I'm going to take USC in this game. Braden, final pick of the week. Number 17, Cincinnati Bearcats at 7-1, taking on the number 24 Utah Utes, who are 6-2. Utah favored by 10.5 here.
I'll take Utah. I think Cincinnati's overrated. Cincinnati this year, even though they're ranked 17, what's their marquee win? They beat Baylor. Oh, they beat Iowa State, who's now no longer ranked. Bowling Green, Northwestern State, Kansas, Iowa State, UCF, Oklahoma State, Baylor. They haven't played the good teams in the Big 12. This is their first good team in the Big 12 conference. How about this? Cincinnati finishing with Utah, Arizona, BYU, and TCU. It's gonna get real. It's gonna get real for Cincinnati really quickly. I got Utah in this game. I think they cover the 10.5 at home. Utah usually does a really good job at home.
Skylar?
I'm actually surprised that Utah's favored and that they're favored by 10.5. I understand like they're playing at home and they're great at home, but I think if the Bearcats can play a clean game, they can for sure go in and upset Utah at home. So I'm going to go with the Bearcats.
Yep, I'm going to go with Cincinnati as well. So now I have officially relinquished my Week 9 title as we go into Week 10.
His 7-3 week, yeah.
Yes, I was very happy.
You're not going to pick Washington State or the Pac-12 Championship Part 1 is on Saturday.
That's cool.
4-4 Wazoo, 1-7 Oregon State.
What do you mean you're not going to pick the Pac-12 game? You're the one that makes the picks. Why didn't you put it on here?
Why didn't you add it on? Well, because Oregon State's 1-7.
Brother.
Washington State's 4-4. How about the fact that they have on ESPN.com, it's like 4-4, 0-0 Pac-12. I really hope that says 1-1 at the end of the season because they play each other both home and home. I think that'd be hilarious. Washington State's fair by 4.5. Bonus pick for you, Frank.
You got to stop.
I'll take Wazoo on the road.
You got to stop disrespecting the Power Act 12.
Well, there's only 2 teams now, so I can do that. And then when they add all the other teams next year, then we can respect them as a real conference. But with Washington State and Oregon State's 1-7 in college football, I'm going to laugh at it. Oregon State lost to Cal, Fresno State, Texas Tech, Oregon. Hey, those are 2 hard games back-to-back. Houston, who's good. App State, Wake Forest. They finally got their first win. They beat Lafayette, who they were trailing to in that game. They finished up the season Wazoo, Sam Houston, Tulsa, Wazoo. How about that?
It's hard to beat a team twice, you know.
Can't wait for the Pac-12 championship game to be a 1-1. Both teams are 1-1. Who wins the tiebreaker? Who gets the I hope they, on the next game, whoever wins this game between Wazoo and Oregon State, up in Pullman, if whoever wins this game wins the next one, you get a 2. I hope they have a trophy presentation. I hope they bring it all out and do the confetti and then that game needs to be on big CBS like this one is.
It has been.
And have a sideline guy like just interviewing the head coach like, feel about winning the Pac-12.
To the commissioner of the Power Act 12, it's been a long month for sports fans. It has been a long, bad, dark month for sports fans. Give us something to look forward to. Give us a trophy presentation.
I think that'd be hilarious. I'd be super in on that. We're running out of time. So we got high school football. We got Eddie Brown. I do want to talk about this Maverick Stars thing. I think it's hilarious. We might talk about that, but we do have high school football tonight that we'll talk about. Get to Eddie Brown at 1:35 and wrap up the show. Thank you to the Queen of College Football for stopping by. Is that your when you a ghost today?
Yeah.
I like it.
Day before Halloween.
What are you dressing up as for Halloween? Are you dressing up?
Honestly, I might be wearing the ghost sweatshirt
That's
again.
fine. Fair enough.
Outfit repeating.
Hey, you know what? Only the people that watch you on YouTube would have any idea.
That's true. Everyone's going to know now. You called me out.
Called you out. Everybody's going to know when you wear that as your Halloween costume tomorrow. For Skylar, Frank Marchese, I'm Braden Surprenant. We'll be back with more Braden Surprenant Show when we come back. Final week of the high school football season begins tonight. Talked about the biggest fan. Talked about all the guests that joined us. Did not get to the midday sports standoff again. Tomorrow's the last day. We have to do it tomorrow. Halloween question tomorrow, Frank. That's what we got to do. We got to do some type of like Halloween, like most popular costume or candy or something like that. Right?
That's fair.
Yeah. I feel like that's...
Work on that.
Yeah. You know, I planted the seed. This is me right here planting the seed in Frank's brain. There we go. Candy.
It's a tiny seed.
If you had nothing nice to say, you don't say it at all.
Well, no, I was saying it's a tiny seed for a tiny brain. That's what I was saying.
Well, that's what I was going to say, but
Yeah.
then I just decided not to say it. Your mom probably texted you that immediately.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you right now, Frank's mom throws out some haymakers on the show. You think the yellow pants is funny. She is on it.
Uh-huh.
What did she say the other day that she just told me today? It's hilarious.
Oh no, it was last night was the
it was the Ben tweet.
last night,
the Ben tweet.
last night was the Ben tweet.
Oh my god.
If you
don't know,
if you guys haven't seen the picture that Ben and Woods, the show account,
So
tweeted
funny.
out yesterday
So funny.
about Ben
Sitting there.
Yeah, sitting there, gifted as he is. My mom sent me a text after she saw it yesterday.
Nice.
Saying, if you ever feel uncomfortable at work, pretend to sneeze at 11 o'clock. And then she texted me, I was busy. I didn't get to see. Did you sneeze? No, I
The
didn't.
Ben nicknames are absolutely killing me right now. One, was she impressed?
No. If you guys think I have a quick wit, I am slow on the draw compared to my mom and my brother for that matter.
Your mom,
but it's my mom is the fastest wit of any human I've ever seen.
Cole is on a roll right now, dude. This is like Cole, Rod, and Juan are just having a field day in the YouTube chat. I can't even say it with a straight face.
No.
You don't want this for the YouTube audience.
Rod, we see you. We appreciate you. You win.
You gave Rod the winner, huh?
But no, the winner is the winner. You win this bit. The winner of the day was the winner of the day was the Ted names when we were talking about Albernaz. That's the winner of the day.
You got to play it again.
Hey, Birdland.
Hey, Birdland. Camden Yards. So great. If you take it on sports trivia or Halloween candy trivia tomorrow, you're qualified for a chance to win a grand prize, a trip for two to see Jerry Seinfeld in Las Vegas, including 2 tickets to the show on April 17th at the Coliseum at Caesars Palace, a 2-night stay at the Flamingo Hotel and Casino, and a $100 gas card. Jerry Seinfeld returns to the Coliseum at Caesars Palace on April 17th and 18th. See Ticketmaster.com for tickets.
Hold on, let me do an Adam in the chat right now. Adam's on his way to Atlanta, or is is getting ready to be on his way to Atlanta.
Oh yeah, he leaves at like what, 2 o'clock or something.
Let me do an Adam in the chat. There are 5 teams in Major League Baseball that have a Halloween candy hidden in their logo. Which one are they?
Oh my God! I would walk out. You'd have to show the rest of the show.
Don't,
Braden, why did you leave early? I need a new contract.
Don't tempt a stupid person to do stupid things, man.
Unbelievable. I want to talk about that. We're going to talk about that arena debacle in Dallas because it's hilarious watching two entities sue each other. We're going to do that tomorrow. But we got high school football tonight. We got high school football tonight and tomorrow for the next 2 days. So we're giving you a quick preview of the Thursday night games that are on throughout the county tonight. A lot of teams are playing tonight, which is great. We're going to get to Eddie Brown in the next segment to get you ready for our fantasy football this weekend. Final week of the regular season in high school football in San Diego with playoff seedings on the line. Just about every snap this weekend means something. 8 teams that many believe are good enough for the open division, only 4 get to make it, which is stupid in its own right. I don't know why they got rid of the 8 teams as the open. They decided to go to 4. It's dumb. Debate me on it. Go ahead. You'll lose. It's stupid to have 4 teams as an open playoff. There's no justification for it. And if your answer is, well, 5 through 8 doesn't win, I don't really care. Go win. Okay. We all know Division I's for 5th place.
Get good, forehead.
Yeah, I don't know what else to tell you. I stop making all these different playoffs for every week and hand out 1,000 trophies. It's stupid. Yes, you did miss the Queen of College Football, 1 o'clock today. Right now, Cathedral, Lincoln, Carlsbad, and Mission Hills are projected as the 4 open division teams, according to Max Prep's computer formula, which will determine the playoff seedings. Will be announced on Saturday, if I'm not mistaken. That would leave LCC, Granite, San Marcos, and Mount Miguel sitting at the top of Division 1. All 4 of those schools are good enough to be in the open. Let me tell you. I don't know why. Stop it. The 4-team playoff is stupid. There's not like just 4 teams that are just better than everybody else. And even though it's happened a couple of years, it's not always going to happen like that. It's dumb. Bring back the 8-team playoff. I don't know why. The coaches have to come together and decide that. So CIF changes it. CIF just goes with what the coaches decide, and that's what they go with. So all your qualms should be with the coaching staffs around San Diego County that fight against that instead of CIF, who just enforces what the coaches and the league divisions want to come up with. This weekend's results are going to shake things up. Ramona can clinch a Palomar League title tonight against Valley Center. Ramona's 5-4, 3-0 in their league. In the Palomar League, Valley Center is 3-6 and 2-1. Ramona's Ryan Shaw has thrown for over 1,300 yards and 15 touchdowns. Noah Bedia doing a bit of everything on both sides of the ball. The Bulldogs are trying to wrap up their 2nd straight league crown. Valley Center quarterback Braylon Mitchell has nearly 2,000 yards passing, and wideout Jesse Morales has 56 catches for 897 yards. But the Jags defense has been leaky, giving up over 330 points this season. John Maffey's got Ramona over Valley Center. I do too. Also on Thursday in the Avocado East, Rancho Bernardo visits Poway. RB 7-2, 2-1 in league play. Poway 4-5, 2-1, also in league play. Rancho Bernardo's dual threat quarterback Gage Weddle has been a monster, over 2,200 yards total, 20 touchdowns. But the Broncos are coming off a blowout loss to Mission Hills. Luke Jorgensen leads Poway's ground attack with 1,262 yards and 15 touchdowns. James Clifford is a big play receiver with 10 touchdowns. Should be a good one for Poway and RB. And the rivalry game in the North County that circles every year, Torrey Pines and La Costa Canyon. They're playing for the surfboard, Frank, tonight. Torrey Pines 4-5, 0-3 in league play. LCC 8-1, 2-1. LCC needs a big win tonight to get into the open division. They're going to need some help too. LCC's Quentin Roth has been sensational, nearly 1,900 passing yards and 26 touchdowns. Kobe Herman, one of the best running backs in the county, racking up over 1,700 yards of total offense. Mavericks' only loss came by 1 point to Mission Hills. They'll try to make one last case for the open division. There is no reason why LCC should not be in the open division. Not one. LCC is one of the best 4 teams in San Diego. They're one of the best teams. They should be in a position to compete for an open division title. And the fact that they are missing it out potentially on 1 point by going for 2 against Mission Hills on the road and not getting it is an utter disaster and an utter joke. LCC should be in the open division. The fact that they might not be, and we only have 4 teams, needs to change things. Mission Hills will take on San Marcos on Friday. That's a big game. We'll talk about more of the Friday night games tomorrow, as we have a lot of different things around the county. But tonight, there's a lot of good games in action. We will be playing University City tonight. Senior night. Get the games done on Thursday for Halloween. It's great.
I got the ring today too, so
there you go. Thank you for that. You know what? We snapped that last week, though. Olympian and Cathedral both won without the ring.
I forgot until after we were leaving, after we recorded the promo for the show.
Yeah, and then you said, looks like you're going to lose.
I was like, sorry, bud.
That's right. Ended up winning. So it's going to be interesting because, again, like if you look at the deal, so how it works out is all based on a rating system, but head-to-head plays. So they rank it. Max Preps ranks it, and then CIF goes in and flips teams that are in the same position but have head-to-head results. So right now it's Cathedral 1, Lincoln 2, Carlsbad 3, Mission Hills 4. Cathedral beat Lincoln. So even if Lincoln jumps to 1 after beating Scripps Ranch by whoever knows them out, Cathedral, if they drop to 2, would then flip back to 1 because they beat Lincoln head-to-head. So in order for them to not be the number 1 seed, they'd have to get jumped by somebody else and yada, 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 yada. So Cathedral will be the 1, Lincoln will be the 2. Then it gets crazy with the North County schools, Carlsbad, Mission Hills, and LCC. They're all relatively close to each other within fractions of points on Max Preps. Carlsbad's got the 3 currently, and Mission Hills has the 4. Mission Hills lost to Carlsbad. So in order for Mission Hills to get the 3 seed, Carlsbad would then have to drop below LCC because of the flipping. And you go in order. So Carlsbad gets the 3, Mission Hills the 4. Mission Hills lost to Carlsbad. They can't pass. If Mission Hills jumps Carlsbad in the ratings, and so it's Cathedral 1, Lincoln 2, Mission Hills 3, and Carlsbad drops to 4, you go, well, LCC beat Carlsbad. They should jump into the open, but it doesn't work like that because you flip top to bottom. So since Carlsbad beat Mission Hills, they would then flip to 3. Mission Hills would drop to 4, and then LCC lost to Mission Hills. LCC is in a little bit of a jam going into this weekend. They need to win big over Torrey Pines, and they need a Discovery Bowl upset in which San Marcos beats Mission Hills, or they need a big win by the Del Norte over Carlsbad, or to make it close to try to flip some things to get the right order. LCC it's going to be tough for them to make the open unless they get some results. But I tell you what, and the way high school football has played out the last couple of weeks, you might see some crazy results the next 2 days. That's going to be fun on Saturday to see what the seedings are. We'll talk more high school football tomorrow as we'll have more games on Friday. When we come back, Eddie Brown will join us, get you ready for your fantasy football weekend to finish up the show on a Thursday. Braden Surprenant Show, Standings #1 Sports Station 97.3 The Fan. Time to finish up the show as we get you ready for some fantasy football news and notes coming up this weekend. Get everything you need to know about your fantasy team as we are now joined by our fantasy football guru. He writes for the Standing Union Tribune. His name is Eddie Brown, and he joins us here on the Braden Surprenant Show. Eddie, what's going on? How's your Thursday going?
Oh, it's going good. Excuse me. It's going good, Braden. Busy as ever. A lot of different irons going. Trying to figure out this. We've been talking about it the last couple of weeks, but I got this team that's by far like outscoring one of my leagues by like 1,000 points. And yet I'm 2-6. I don't know. Even I'm stumped on this one.
That happens. That's the frustrating part of fantasy football. As much as we all like to put in the time and the effort and got a little bit of skill involved, that's the luck part that doesn't work out for you a lot of times.
Yeah, I was having a conversation with one of my league mates, actually in another league, and he was telling me that's why he's not in head-to-head leagues. He hates the idea that he could have a good team and they can score a bunch of points, but on any given week, kind of like any given Sunday in the NFL, right?
Mm-hmm.
Any given week, he can go and he can have another big week. It just happens that any other team, whether they're a good or bad team, just goes off that week, and you end up, with an L. So some people are turned off. They'd rather play roto.
Let's talk about some, obviously, big waiver ads. If you didn't already have this player or not, I mean, a lot more injuries are happening, which means guys are flying up on the boards and being able to help facilitate your fantasy teams. You led your Week 9 cheat sheet with Giants running back Tyrone Tracy Jr. after Cam Scadabo's injury. How confident are you that Tracy becomes a reliable RB2 going forward? And does Jackson Dart's success at quarterback make him even more appealing as a pickup for Tyrone Tracy Jr.?
Yeah, man, what a gruesome ankle injury. It was just horrible to watch Cam go down like that. He's been such an exciting player, and him and how the Giants have turned around basically in a month, because they're, to start two rookies and get that type of juice. Really terrible injury to see happen on Sunday. I think Tracy's an all-in guy. I think he's one of those guys that can make a real big difference if you're able to pick him up off the waiver wire this week. I think they're going to involve Devin Singletary. He's a veteran. He's probably going to get a little bit of a bump in usage. But Tracy, if you look back to last year, I mean, he was a rookie last year, and he ended up finishing basically as a top 15 running back across most fantasy formats pretty much after the first month of the season last year. So I think he's capable. He's dynamic. He's good at catching balls out of the backfield. I think as long as Dart is upright, as long as he's healthy and under center, I think there's going to be juice in this offense. And so I think if you're capable of landing him this week, it should be good, good going for the rest of the season, especially if you're hurting at running back.
You listed Sam Darnold, Aaron Rodgers, and Trevor Lawrence as streaming options, all former first-rounders finding a second win. If you had to pick just one to start in Week 9, who's your guy and why?
I think just one. I'm going with Darnold just because he's been playing so well and the Seahawks look so good. They're coming off a bye, so they should be well prepared for a Commanders defense that I think is struggling, dealing with injuries. They're allowing the sixth most fantasy points to quarterbacks this season. And I think that Darnold to, JSN connection has just been working all season long. It's just getting better as the season progresses. So I think if you're happy to pick one, it's Darnold. I like Lawrence against the Raiders. I just think the Raiders are kind of struggling, and they don't really have the talent to do what Carroll wants to do there. And they're probably going to have to put in a lot of work in the offseason to try to ramp that up. But I like Darnold a lot this week.
Kayshon Boutte has 4 touchdowns in his last 3 games, finally looking like the player we thought he could be at LSU. Is this a real breakout side to Drake May's development, or just a hot streak fantasy owners should cash out on?
No, I think it's the real deal. Like you said, he was one of those guys that I had my eyes on coming into the draft. I thought he was going to be a late round gem because there was a lot of talent, obviously. He dealt with a lot of different things at LSU, but I thought he was one of those guys that could take it to the next level in the NFL. We saw a little bit of it last year, and then now we're seeing it with May. I know we've been burned before because you've had a couple of stop and goes where you had a big game, then you pick him up, and then for the next month, he just go completely MIA. But May is the real deal. I mean, basically, New England's one of those situations where a quarterback like May will make all of the principal weapons on that offense viable in fantasy from week to week. I think Booty is one of the guys that's showing a true connection with me. He's had it since last year. Obviously, Diggs is going to command some targets, but I think Booty's the guy that when May wants to dial up a shot, he's looking for Kayshawn.
You listed a bunch of young running backs on the rise. Bam Knight in Arizona, Tank Bigsby in Philly, Ollie Gordon in Miami. Which one do you trust the most as the rest of the season stash, or who's just fool's gold?
Well, I think Knight's basically just kind of useful for this week. I mean, any running back that's going to get double-digit touches against the Cowboys, you throw them in your lineup and you walk away. You don't even think about it. But I think Trey Benson probably can come back as early as week 10. Might be back week 10, might be back week 11. So I don't think Knight has a lot of value going forward. I really like Ollie Gordon. But he's, you kind of feel like there's kind of a thunder lightning thing going on that could develop there in Miami, but they have so many other things going wrong with that team right now that it's kind of hard. If you think the Dolphins are going to be in a game where they're going to play from the lead like they did against the Falcons last week, then I think he's a guy that has flex appeal on a week-to-week basis. Otherwise, he's touchdown dependent. I think Isaiah Davis, I mean, this is the big deal. The big thing you have to pay attention to this week is next week is the trade deadline. So there's a lot of teams that could be making deals, and Isaiah Davis is one of those guys that could benefit greatly. If Breece Hall gets moved, then he's going to step into basically a full-time role for the Jets. And I think we saw a little bit of what he could do against the Bengals last week. He put up over 100 yards, total yards on like 12 touches, and was able to catch some balls out of the backfield as well. So he's somebody who's available pretty much everywhere. If you can grab him this week and just wait to see if Hall's traded, that could be a big advantage going forward.
Talking with Eddie Brown on the Braden Surprenant Show, giving you locked in on fantasy football, some waiver pickups. If you haven't made your moves already, we got a game tonight for Thursday Night Football, getting you ready for the weekend in fantasy football. Last question we have time for. You joked about whoever plays the Titans should be the rule for fantasy defenses. This week, it's the Chargers' turn. Outside of that golden matchup, which defenses are you targeting as a sneaky rest of the season stash heading in November?
I think there's actually a lot of good streaming possibilities this week. I mean, obviously the Chargers, literally anybody who plays the Titans for the rest of the year. But I like the Lions a lot this week, going up against the Vikings with KJ McCarthy coming back. I like the Rams. They're going up against the Saints, and they're starting Tyler Shuck for the first time. So anytime, I mean, the Rams front four is one of the best in the NFL. I think they're going to, the Saints have been playing kind of above their level pretty much all season. And I think we're going to start seeing them kind of revert to what we thought they would be. I like the Jaguars a lot against the Raiders. Like I said earlier, the Raiders are kind of just, I don't know. It hasn't come together. It hasn't gelled. There's a lot of good pieces on that team. But I think it's going to take Carroll, at least for the rest of the season to get it together. And Jacksonville's defense played really well in the beginning of the year, and they've kind of tailed off. But I think coming off a bye, they should have a pretty good situation going up against a Raiders team that doesn't even score 15 points a game.
Eddie, appreciate the time each and every Thursday to talk fantasy football with you. My teams are doing pretty well. One of them's not. The touchdown only league has been incredibly unfortunate. I drafted Tracy in that particular league, and it was a nothing burger for a long time. There's only 4 bench pieces. Had to get rid of them. So all of a sudden, now it's a missed opportunity, Eddie. It's tough. That's a tough pill and to swallow in fantasy football.
Yeah, no, it's never good when you draft somebody, you're sharp, you're like, hey, this guy's going to do something. He doesn't do something for a couple of weeks, and you're like, I got to make a move. And then the thing you thought was going to happen pretty much happens, and it's just like, oh man, if I just had a little bit more patience.
Yeah, luckily I had patience with him in other leagues, so I was locked in on Tracy early. So the news has helped me out. Eddie, appreciate the time. Thanks again. We'll talk to you next week.
Awesome. Take care, Brent.
Eddie Brown joining us on the Braden Surprenant Show. He's Frank Marchese. I'm Braden Surprenant. Thanks again for tuning in to another fun and jam-packed 4-hour show. So much stuff we didn't even get to today, Frank. Again.
Got a lot to get to tomorrow.
A lot to get to tomorrow. We'll see if the Padres make a managerial hire. Lots to get to on Halloween tomorrow. Should be a fun time. Will we dress up? You'll have to tune in tomorrow to see if we did. Braden Surprenant Show. 97 through the Fan.